Good luck and good bowling.
Is this what you're producing now? Yeah. Sweet. One, two, one, two. Hey. Right, welcome back to the 29th. Oh, yep. 29th Irish Open, live from Sloan, Dublin, Ireland. We're into squad 7 now. And I'm joined by Adam Michaels.
Hi,
Welcome, Adam.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Nice, pleasure. You and Simon do a great job. I just hope I can live up to the standard that you two have set.
Right, there's that 20 quid. So, 289 you opened up with today.
288.
288, sorry, get it right.
Selwyn told me after the 6th frame, he said, come on, Adam, be honest, you're that bad at spare and you're just going for strikes. So I proved him right, didn't I, missing that 7 pin at the end.
Is the audio coming through okay, everybody? We haven't got the chat up yet.
No, I can hear you, though.
Well, we'll talk for a bit and then we'll see if anybody says
I've got
anything.
someone in the live chat, Ronald Boomer.
Ah, Ronald.
Holland.
Come on, Holland. Can you hear us okay, Ronald?
Hello, Holland.
Oh, you know a bit of Dutch, do you?
Tiny bit.
You know a lot more than I do then.
Got lots of Dutch friends. There's a bowling trip that goes over from Hull to Holland every year. So we've got a lot of Dutch friends.
Right.
Do a lot of business with the Dutch as well through my business at home.
Right.
I won't plug it.
Can if you want. What, it's car business in it, yours or something?
Tyres. Yeah, tyres in a garage. Took it over from my dad when he retired in 2012.
You're under 30, aren't you still?
No, 31 now.
You're 31
1985.
Bloody hell.
32. Marriage and birthday all in the same month this year.
Yeah, it's going to be expensive.
Craig said we're loud and clear, so.
Excellent.
Dulcet Yorkshire tones.
I like
We're a
Credders.
bit Yorkshire overload here, aren't we?
Where's Credders? Should be. Oh, we had a gutter ball there.
Yeah, we should talk about the bowling, really, shouldn't we?
Well, we will at some point. Right, so featured pair, we've got Thomas. Can you read that?
No, I'm going to let you go with the names, Dom. This is the only bit that I haven't been looking forward to.
I can't even see from here.
I think we've got Thomas Keiko. I'll go with Keiko.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Jan Nordhaug.
Yeah. Teresa Watts.
And Greta. Is it? I can't even see that. Danielson,
yeah, we'll go with that.
Ooh.
I can spy a name on lane 13 that I'm not looking forward to trying to say later.
Which one's that? 13. Oh, I can't even see it.
Yeah, I'm not going to attempt it.
I'm short-sighted at the best of times, but this is Aki score, and it's not easy to see Aki score. Not on, what are they, 20-inch monitors. So as you can see from this year, we've got a jazzy new camera angle. Just down the cap-in on 9 and 10. Gives you a nice close-up front view of players.
I shall just show everybody what it can do.
Oh yeah, and Adam's going to turn it around a little bit.
If I find the right bit of the computer here. Literally
drop that down, and it's on that one, green one.
Okay, this one here.
Just got the green one, yeah.
Sorry everyone, I've literally had a 5-minute crash course on camera operation.
If we crash, that'll be fine.
So this should move us. There we go. Rocking and rolling here. So nice front view of Jan. Get ready.
Oh, getting a slow-mo on that one. Yeah.
So now if we flip it to this side, we should quickly see, there we go, spare ball going down the lane.
Oh, yeah.
got... Oh, there's a nice pink shirt coming up on lane 8.
That's Stubbsy Vang, I think, innit? Is it? No. Oh, no, it's not.
And then if I quickly flip over to number 5, should go all the way to the other side. You can see that way.
Look at this technology for €30.
I tell you, Simon's a good one, isn't he?
I found this one, and then he went and bought one.
Did you?
Yeah. As I said, are these any good? He says, well, give it a try, €30.
When I was bowling on the feature pair earlier, I said to you before we came online, I saw the camera move a little bit just as it was getting on to the approach. So if these bowlers catch it while we're moving it, a little bit of added pressure, they need to make a strike for the show.
Yeah, that's the only one thing I've not really thought about yet. We can't really move it side to side when they're going down the lanes, I suppose. But I don't think anybody's actually looking at it. Until they're on 6 in their own. Oh, pretty camera move.
Some of us bowlers are precious. I mean, we get upset when somebody re-racks in the middle of the shot, don't they?
Some of you are precious.
So
yeah, what did you finish with there? You 288 first game, and you finished with
1402.
That's all right.
It was a strange block, really. I pretty much hit the pocket the whole block, but 2 games I seemed to string strikes, and the rest of the 4 was a bit of strike spare double here and there. So 280 was on 7 and no, it wasn't. It was on 5 and 6.
5 and 6, yeah.
And for me, to be fair, I was on a lane with Rog Paul Moore, and as we were going towards the high end of the block, obviously speaking together, we were both agreeing it was getting tighter as you went to the high end of the lane. So just changed my entry angle into the pocket, couldn't get that 7-pin out.
Getting Paul on your lane, was that a good or a bad draw for you, being both lefties?
I think in a centre like this, on a pattern like this, didn't really make any difference. As everybody will know, if it starts easy on the left, obviously it stays easy. But I think to have someone that you know on the lane relax you, I've known him for God knows how many years now, 16, 17 years.
Yeah.
It was probably more of a help than a hindrance, I would have thought, and bouncing ideas off each other. And if I'm getting frustrated with leaving flat 7s or wrap 7s, then he can...
To be fair, Paul doesn't like anybody on these lanes, but he'd probably get away with quite liking you because you're from the same place.
Well, literally 2 miles up the road from his... doesn't live there anymore because he's moved down south with Charisse, but we used to bowl league together. I bowl league with his parents still.
He's been trying for years to get out of Hull.
City of Culture this year.
City of Culture.
Yeah.
God,
don't know where we bought the culture from, but...
Yeah. Must be down the docks.
But Paul played an awesome block as well. I think he finished on 14-20, 14-30.
Yeah.
So if we were playing doubles, it'd have been a good set.
Aye.
But he was much more steady than I was. He was 230, 240, 240, 250, 240, like that. I was a bit further up and down with the carry.
Well, he's going to coast to the final, isn't he? He's pretty much.
At the end of the day, he's class.
He is, yeah. You don't win 16 EBT titles without being quite good.
If you just spend, okay, you can look at someone's CV and obviously it proves that they're good. But if you just spend a weekend watching the good players, you can just see how good they are.
Yeah,
they really are. I mean, so for example, here on lane 7 and 8, we've got Tora, past winner. Actually, Sean announced 1996. That's some time ago. Don't get me wrong, everybody. There's plenty of decent players out here, but when you see the top level bowlers, you can just understand why their scores are so much bigger than everybody else's. He's one to watch out for this year, Ron Hurt. Well, I was just thinking as we came online, I was going to see where he finished last year, because I remember he got right the way through to the match play.
The last 2 years he's made it through to the later rounds, and he just played the Ballmaster last week, I noticed. And he didn't usually travel to them kind of a tournament.
He's deceptively good. He sort of slips in under the radar, I think.
Yeah, the servicemen usually do that, don't you?
Yeah,
they don't play like most other players, so they
just
the guest star now and again.
See if I get the results here from last year's. Here we go. Let's see if he made the semi. Yeah, semi. He lost to Rog in the semi.
Yeah,
that's a good showing. Go back to the live chat, see if anyone's got any questions. If anyone has got any questions, don't be afraid to fire them in. We'll try as best as we can to blag the answers. I mean, give our expert opinion.
Yeah. Muddle on through. That's my middle name. Esther Nichols says, nice shirt, Simon. That's Simon's good lady wife, friend, girlfriend, lover, taxi.
I call mine boss.
Boss.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you keep calling her boss, because that's it now.
She's not going to be listening. She's got better things to do, but just in case she is. Hi, Ash.
How long have you been with her now? It's about a few years, isn't it?
Yeah, we've just gone past 3 years. We're getting married actually on our 4th anniversary, which is why we're getting married on Friday the 13th.
Right.
That's the day, obviously, our relationship officially started. But
And where's that going to be, in Hull or in her?
Yeah, just on the outskirts of Hull, a little place called Skidby. It takes 10 minutes to drive to Hull from there.
Skipsey, did you say that?
Skidby.
Oh, I thought you said Skipsey there.
Skipsey, the coastal village.
Yeah,
up
coast,
there,
yeah.
Well, we're getting married in a converted old mill. Well, we're not actually getting married in the mill, but in the restaurant, and they're building a company in it.
Oh, nice.
And of course, not far now until Mr. Moore and Miss Sharice's Denham's wedding.
What, they May time, is it?
May, the 6th, I think. Don't know whether he'll thank me for mentioning that or not.
No, he says he was going to invite me last year. I said, oh, invite me, just invite your friends. All 6 of them.
We've got a great question here from Ronald. I think this may be a little bit too soon in the piece to be asking this question, but who is going to win this tournament?
Chris Sloan.
That was straight in there, Dom.
Yeah, Chris Sloan, definitely. And if not, it's going to be Ghislaine.
Well, Chris, of course, what did he shot 580 in the quarterfinals last year or something?
Yeah, and then he went out and then lost in the final.
Was it the final he lost in?
He lost to Paul in the final, yeah, because Paul did him by quite a bit.
And he's had that big block earlier.
Second in the World Cup this year as well. He's turned the corner as Chris.
I mean, that block earlier, but while I was travelling, I think he started while we were flying over. He's 15, what's leading the tournament?
15-21, I think he had, yeah.
With a 199.
Yeah.
And of course, being at the Storm Irish Open, he was throwing a Storm Phase 2.
Was he?
Yeah. Timmy will be glad to know that.
Yeah, we'll have to get Timmy on the chat at some point.
So you had Barry on the chat before.
Yeah, he'll be on again, Will Barry. He likes a bit of commentary.
Yeah.
Probably for the final if he doesn't make it. I think we'll have a few for the semis and finals this year. Mix it up a little bit.
I think he might be over in the bar. I think it's his round.
Sorry?
Do you think he might be over in the bar right now? I think it'd be his round.
I don't know. I think he's gone home. Barry. Gone home to see kids. So halfway through this first game, then the pick of the featured pair at the moment seems to be Kayako with 129 in the 5th with a strike working. Nothing much to add with the other 3. Just almost pushing 100 after 6 frames.
Well, Thomas is just stepping up on here, lane 10. If he gets another strike here, he's going to go to 39 over. Two-handed style. Don't know if you got that on there. Oh, flush.
Yeah, struck. I've just got to time this mixing between the 2. First time we've done this one.
Two-handed bowling becoming more and more popular, of course.
Have you given it a try?
Yeah, I think everybody's given it a try, haven't they?
Well, I haven't. I mean, I don't bowl anymore, but I haven't even attempted to try it.
I mean, I first saw Jason throw it in Nottingham. It must have been a British Open or something.
Jason? Belmonte,
yeah. I think at the time I was probably living in Nottingham, and Paul said, "Come over here and watch this." Amazing. So I think I gave it a go that weekend, just messing around. And then of course you got Oscu. It's pretty weird how those two have got a very similar story to their upbringings and how they ended up 2-holding bowling.
And round about the exact same time as well, in 2 different parts of the world.
Well, it almost couldn't get further away from each other.
No, he couldn't, no. No, and you'd have to say that they are the first 2 ever.
Yeah.
I mean, people palmed it back in the day. I know Mike Edwards on the PBA tour palmed it, and a few others did.
Yeah, and effectively so as well. But I think, well, as we've seen with the two-handers, they have been ridiculed to a certain extent, and you've still got the naysayers. But when Palming started coming out, they had the naysayers as well. But these two guys grew up doing it. They know nothing else.
Well, people used to say when the world was flat.
Yeah.
And when it was, no, it's round. What?
But you've got, I don't know, probably half a dozen two-handers here this weekend, just guessing.
There's actually not as many as you would think. I mean, there's a lot coming through now, but not as many as could have been. And it's proven to work. Short term, anyway. You know, long term, I'm not so sure.
There's a lefty two-hander. Is it America? Is it America or Australia? Is it Cassidy?
Cassidy Schaub. Yeah. He doesn't play so much now, though, does he? I
haven't seen his name banded around.
He never came through. I mean, they've had a few two-handers in America. There was what's the other lad from Brunswick? I've forgotten his name now. DV8.
Well, there's Smallwood, but he takes his hand off it and puts his thumb in a little bit.
Oh, I can't remember his name. He's got a big V on his shirt. I know him really well as well. Saw him in Italy.
Seems like you know him well.
Yeah, but just can't remember his name now.
Yeah.
Young, anyway, there's
young,
him.
Old, young or old?
Fairly young. He's just quit now, actually. He's gone back to regular work.
Of course, there's 19-year-old Simonson, but he's a Roto player, so you're thinking of somebody DV8. But
yeah, it'll come to me eventually. Anybody on chat maybe knows.
Pete from Hull. Hiya, Pete. Yeah, Mike Buckle. Definitely, when he was a junior, he was getting coached. He saw somebody take the thumb out of it, and he went up to his coach and he said, "Can we give that a go?" And his coach was open-minded enough to do it. Mike was the youngest player in Hull to have a 300 for a long time.
Yeah. We did it back in, it must have been 86, 87, we were doing it.
What's your personal opinion on the two-handed matter?
It's awesome. I think it's if you're gonna change the way the sport's played, that's the way to do it. Who says you can't play with two hands?
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? It's
innovation.
I just don't like those haters that hate them because they're bowling with two hands. It's like a form of racism to me. If it's not lefties getting the crap, it's two-handers.
Yeah, I can see you're right.
The right-handers are the only,
Brian Valenta, there you go.
Valenta.
James W.
There you go. Thanks, James. I knew it were something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's here to stay.
Sorry, guys, I got distracted there. That was Timmy Mack coming over to say hello.
Poor Timmy's stood at the back, desperate to get on the lanes. Carrying an injury at the minute, which he would normally have bowled with.
You could say that about Tim for the last God knows how many years. Bless him, he's riddled with injuries, hasn't he?
Well, to be fair, he threw everything at his career when he was younger, and I mean he's reaping the benefits because he's liked and everything around the world. He's well known off the back of that global bowling he did, but
yeah.
I think if he'd have waited 5 or 6 years, he'd have been a bigger name, sort of thing.
I think he, obviously with his injuries and everything, he went down a different route, like ambassadorial. I know he was playing tournaments around the country, but he was spreading bowling, and obviously Storm that he's been affiliated with for years and years.
Since the beginning, I think.
Yeah.
I think he was the one that kind of spread Storm around the world a little bit. He was, for a long time, the only American that was really travelling.
Obviously responsible for the creation of the Weber Cup. It was a pipe dream of his with
he was involved in it. Yeah, and Roger Creamer apparently from Cubic RF were involved in that one. It's been a great event, and every year Timmy comes and I think we should have a playing captain, and I know, Timmy, you want to get back on the lanes, don't you?
Yeah. Look, I remember him playing in the height of one of his injuries in the Weber Cup with a 12-pound bowling ball.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Still didn't disgrace himself. Obviously he wasn't bowling at his best, and he probably won't mind me saying that, but still did a job out there for his team.
No, he wears his heart on his sleeve, doesn't he? And he always puts 110% in. He's just well liked around the world, isn't he?
Yeah, great guy. So if we're thinking that the scoring pace, let's say 220 is a decent game, looking at these lanes over here, Thomas is still going. Look at Thomas on the feature pair.
They've opened up, haven't they? A few of them.
So pairs 7 and 8, we've got a couple on for 220, 230.
Yeah, 279 for Kayako if he strikes out. Tom Byrne on a 238, and
Yeah, we should have that pair on the feature lane. It's got easier names on that one.
yeah. You want to go to Cyprus, mate, and places like that. It's all right when it's Costas, but or Georgius, but then you get some really Hadjil Kalumis or
Did the Malta and Cyprus double one year with Josh Goldswain.
I remember that. Yeah.
Nearly killed me, so we didn't do it again. He's here this weekend, supposedly.
Josh.
Yeah, he said on Facebook he booked it.
Oh, yeah. Must be coming tomorrow then.
Don't know.
His good lady friend must have let him out. He's training now, isn't he? He's doing marathons
trying
and
to do
stuff.
the marathon, yeah.
Fair play to him. Oh, carried.
Somebody was telling me that they've just installed these pins, like last week.
Brand new ones.
Yeah.
Want it pool or something like that, or?
No, here.
Oh, here.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
It was Richie Teese played block 5, and he told me that these were brand new pins. So, because when I arrived, and you can obviously see that it's fairly easy to hit the pocket, but hard to carry. So when you put new pins into the factory, you can understand why with the flat bottoms. And
I don't think they're brand new though. They've not got that glass type. You know what I mean? When you,
we need to find out.
they've got a little bit of it, but I don't know. It's like they're a year old maybe, or but it could be wrong. Maybe pins don't sound like they used to. They all got that crashy sound, like glass almost, and then they start to thud after a while.
We need to find out.
Yeah, that's a good thing to find out.
And the pattern I think we're playing on is called Bourbon Street. One of the recreational patterns from Kegel.
Recreational.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on bowling these days, Adam? Do you want to see more sport conditions, or do you like a willy wall now and again?
I think it's good every now and again. So this tournament, for example, has its success, I think, because everybody comes and has a good time. Everybody comes and bowls, usually speaking, above their average and has a good time and knows what to expect of this tournament. But obviously too much of that and people get downhearted because it's arguable that the best bowlers sometimes don't win. Obviously go to the other end of the spectrum. If you have too hard conditions all of the time, then you get people a bit disheartened and they stay at home more. So
it's a fine line though, isn't it? You know, when the cut's 14-20 or the cut's 12-80, I'd rather see a 12-80 cut than a...
If I had to choose, I'd obviously prefer the harder conditions, shot-making conditions. Cream always rises to the top, but...
Usually, yeah.
So I started doing the Team England trials a couple of years ago, and this year we've got the inception of the new Sport Bowling Tour, being run by... PTBC, yeah, so Chatters and Elliot involved in it, big style. Sometimes it's nice to know that 9 spare is a good frame. If you, say for example this tournament, you can shoot 240 and 9 miss, doesn't matter because you can reel off 6-bagger. It's sometimes a really good environment, but 9 spare is a good frame.
221 for Simon, just coming to tell us.
Co-commentator there.
Yeah. I'm going to take some money off him if he wins this year.
Craig's telling us that the pins have been in 3 weeks.
3 weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't sound well. They're 3 weeks old now, but they don't sound like crispy noise you get.
So for me, yeah, definitely I'd prefer to bowl on the harder stuff. Makes you bowl better as well, of course. You improve your game all the time. But every now and again, it's.
What's the site of the live stream?
Sorry, 1 second, guys.
YouTube, and then look for Irish Open 2017.
That's it.
Yeah, and you'll find it. I think you'll find Squad 6 and then the real listeners live.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, guys, we're back. We're just trying to help some people in the bowling alley find the live stream.
Yeah. Hopefully loads of people find it this weekend.
So the bowlers are just moving lanes in between games, coming onto the feature pair. Lane number 10, I think, is going to be another past champion, Ghislaine from Holland.
Ghislaine's not won this, has she? Has she?
Yeah, I think
yeah,
so.
she has
maybe
once.
Maybe when it was the split between men and female.
Yeah, about 2008, 9. I've got lists somewhere, actually. I can bring up a list.
I feel like we should know this more.
Well, I do know it, that's the thing, and I've forgotten it. Because it's the one thing that I ask Jason for every year. Have you got that list of the past winners? I'll give you it last year and the year after.
Oh, we could have a bit of a treat for you here on the
A treat?
on the lane cam, because Tora's within shot, and you might get a lane level view of how much he drifts. Let's see if we can get this set up here.
Yeah, I'm struggling to find the... Could have sworn they were in there.
I might be able to find it on the website actually, because it might have like a roll of
It was on the website, yeah. It took me a while to find it on that. I have got them somewhere. Might be in pictures. Let's have a look.
Results.
There you go, Irish Open winners.
Good man.
So yeah, the first winner, 1989, Chris Buck.
Crispy duck.
Yeah, and then followed by Steve Gomersall, Del Delaney, Marcel van der Bosch, Nico Tiempont, who's here,
Yeah, he was bowling
And
in
then-
my spot.
Jeff Buck, the other Buck, number 94, so they both won it. Nut Hansen, who usually plays this event, in 95. Torres here in 96. Thomas Lee Anderson in 97. Keith Hodge in 98. Thomas Lee Anderson again in 99. And then Matthias Rupp from Sweden in 2000. Peter Allen from Sweden in 2001. Then Wim van der Veen from the Netherlands. Paul Evans Jr. Stu Williams in 2004. Paul Moore in 2005. Sven Roger Olsen
He
in
was tall, Sven
2006.
Rogge.
Sorry?
He was a tall guy, Sven Rogge. Do you remember Sven?
No, I don't actually. Nick Froggatt in 2007, Don Barrett in 2008, Paul Moore again in 2009, and then Barrett won it in 2010 and 11. Brian Voss in 2012, Barry Foley, of course, in 2013, Jamie Bottomley in 2014, Brian Voss again in 15, and last year Paul Moore. So that's 14 wins for England over the years, 4 for Sweden, 3 for Norway, 3 for the Netherlands, and 2 for the USA, 1 for Ireland.
Something that strikes me about that list, even though we say that this maybe isn't one of the most prestigious tournaments on the European Tour, or it's perhaps maybe one of the easier lane conditions, is that's a pretty decent list of winners there. That's esteemed company.
Well, it is, isn't it? I mean, obviously you're top heavy with Brits, but you're going to be when it's right next to Ireland. But of the ones that have won it, they're all the ones that were hot at the time.
Yeah, yeah.
Paul Moore, Nick Froggatt, Don Barrett, Stu Williams.
It's almost a who's who of European bowling. It's very impressive. And then at the end there, you've got PBA Hall of Famer Brian Voss.
Yeah, twice.
One of those years, I remember he came over, he only had 2 balls with him. Literally a 2-ball bag and a pair of shoes.
He's a proper American bowler, travelling the world and still making money off it.
Top man.
So yeah, you women then. You had Kimberly Coote in 1990, Gina Wardle in 91, Pauline Smith, Pauline Buck in 92, Tracy Dew in 93, Pauline again in 94, Ann Jacobs from South Africa in 95, Lena Sulkanen from Denmark in 96, Sharon Lowe from Malaysia in 97. Malaysians must have been over for a swing of tournaments. Lena again in 98, Lena Sulkanen. 1999 with Jessica Olsen from Sweden and Janni Helm from Denmark in 2000.
Well done.
Lisa John, 2001. There's a Waterland from Sweden in 2002. And then the awesome Kirsten Penny in 2003 and 4. Victoria Sofkova from Sweden in 2005. And Laura Roney, Scotswoman, in 2006. Karina Dykes in 2007 and 2009. Split by 2008, Ghislaine van der Toel.
There we go.
Cassie Staudinger from Australia in 2011. Hayley White in 2012. And Zara Giles 2013. 14, I think, was
Joint, wasn't it? Didn't they?
Sorry?
Didn't they put the men and the women together in 2014?
No, it was from Hull. What's her name?
Oh, Hayley.
Hayley.
Yeah, it was.
Hayley
Yeah,
Rumke.
Hayley Rumke. Yeah, of course it was.
And then the last 2 years have been Amanda Larkin.
Just looking at 2011 there, Cassie Starring. I'm thinking, who's that? Well, it's of course Cassie Barrett now, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, Cassie Barrett. I don't know why she doesn't play a little bit more often. She's good.
Very good.
She could probably make the England team after a few years. How long do you have to be?
I don't know. Years of residency to qualify. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if she still bowls, to be honest.
Well, she's a nutritionist, isn't she? So she's got a good job. She don't need the bowling, and obviously
I think they've got a couple of small dogs as well, have they?
Yeah, I think so.
For her to look after while Dom's travelling.
Excuse not to have a baby yet, innit? When you, when you have a dog or a cat.
What are you suggesting, Dom?
I'm just saying. Damn right saying, outright. You get a cat if you don't want a baby. Just yet. What we got on the chat? Anything else? Come on, get your comments and stuff coming in for Adam if you've got any questions.
I'll try my best to answer.
Nothing too complicated, like Pythagorean theory or whatever.
What, a squared plus b squared equals c squared?
That's the one. Oh, you know it then. I just know it's 3.14 or something, isn't it?
Oh, lovely stroke from Giz Lane there on lane 9. Always appreciate a good lefty.
Looking in good shape, actually, is Giz Lane. It looks like she lost a little bit of weight.
Yeah, I mean, it's been years since I've seen her, but yeah, definitely true.
I mean, she was always fairly fit anyway, but... And she's won quite a lot of stuff over the last 10 years or so. Had a bit of a break, I think, over the last couple of years, but she seems to be back and winning again.
There was a stretch back there a few years ago when she was a bit of an ATM. Yeah, she was a cash machine at one point, wasn't she? Sorry, I keep slipping down these chairs.
I think I'm right in saying, but she went at the English Open a few years ago, and I think she put her winnings down on the table, and then looked back a minute later, and it
got taken.
Gone.
Yeah, it got taken. I don't know how that story ends either. I don't know if she got it back.
No, I don't. Yeah, no, who's to blame for stuff like that? You should put it in your pocket.
Got to chalk it down to experience.
Well, you do, don't you? Yeah. You know, Carol catch ball over there. No, she's actually on our featured pair. So we've got Giz Lane. Well, what's that one? Wilke
Shah. I think it's going to be Schafok.
Where's he from?
It's got a little bit of a Dutch twang to that, but
there's quite a few Dutches come on there. Tora Danielson on there as well. That's what I love about bowling, though. You think you've seen everybody, and then like a load of other players turn up, and
you could say that about the people, but you could say that about the styles as well. You think you've seen everything, and then something will come along and surprise you as well.
Like that Jacob Butterf, or whatever he's called.
Butterf, yeah. It's spelt Butterf, but you have to say Butterf.
Butterf.
And he's got like treble jointed wrists and thumb and everything. So.
Has he? Is that why that's that? Yeah, that is.
That's why he gets his hand in the weird position, but then his approach is, let's just say, not textbook.
No.
Obviously carries it quite a bit, but oh my God, is it effective.
It's weird how some styles just work. Maybe it'll only work for a period of time, but who knows? He's come through from nowhere.
He's had a world of a year last year. I mean, I think he broke the record for the number of regional wins in America this year, maybe. So he won the show in Reno before the World Series of Bowling, and on that show they were saying how many regionals he'd won this year. He'd had a world of a year, absolute amazing year.
And he's just won the USA Trials as well.
Yeah, you don't mind?
I can see over here, it's not a problem. Sorry, what was that, Dom?
He's just won the Team USA Trials as well. He's going to the World Cup in Mexico next year.
I think he's just signed with a new ball company, hasn't he?
I'm not sure. I think, they're chasing him now, what? The ball companies.
He's only young. That's the thing with bowling nowadays. You see over there in America, it's definitely a young man's sport now.
They're the last to it, though. I think over the last 4 years, we already saw that in the World Game.
Yeah.
We knew that the youth were taking over. But I think in the last 18 months, the Americans have just caught wind of that now.
Yeah.
And it's like a big, it's new and a shock to them, and you know what I mean? It's like, well, Yeah, come in, the water's lovely. It's been like that.
Yeah.
You know, why do you think Barrett's there?
I have to say, I still enjoy flicking on YouTube or on the extra frame if you can get it, going on some of the classic videos back to the 60s, 70s, and 80s, just for a change. Yeah. I'm not for a minute suggesting one's better than the other, or you know, technology's changed the game, but I still enjoy watching a bit of the old school along with a bit of the new school.
I think 88, 89 were the years that I really started to watch it, because it was on Eurosport at that time.
Yeah, yeah.
And Amleto Monticelli. I saw him bowl and I thought, yeah, that's what I would like to bowl like. I could never do it. I could never do his backswing or anything.
Oh,
but I thought,
open hand at the top of the backswing.
I went to his bowling Barquisimeto in Venezuela.
Oh, wow.
And I Facebooked him and said, "Are you going to be there?" "Yeah, I'll be there," sort of thing. I went in and couldn't find him anywhere. He says, "Oh," and I left. He says, "I went in back office. You should have asked for me," sort of thing.
No way.
Like, damn. But yeah, lovely centre, and it's like I think most bowls that have got a pro have got a shrine somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
And he had his shrine on the wall, all his PBA stuff and all the rest of it. It was really cool. But yeah,
he's got to be one of the fittest bowlers alive. His fitness regime every day is extensive. He's well on top of it.
He was what 11 years I've done talk temping now. He's been the only person I ever wanted to meet. And I met him
in Naples.
Yeah, met him, and he was what a cool guy.
He was in Naples at a European Tour event. I can't remember how many years ago now, but I remember it as long as I live, because Robert Kubica, the former Formula One driver, was there, because he dabbled in a little bit of the.
Oh, is he the one he had to leave early, and we were dragging him off the lanes?
He was supposed to leave early, but he didn't.
Yeah.
But in the qualifying, there was one particular block that Amleto and Robert Kubica were playing the same block, and local paparazzi or newspapers must have got wind that Robert Kubica was there, and they were in the 10 minutes practice. For argument's sake, the end pair 17 and 18, and that's where Amleto is. Robert Kubica was on 15 and 16. And the paparazzi are stood on the approach in front of Amleto, stopping him bowl, taking pictures of Robert Kubica. And of course, everybody in the bowling alley who knows who Amleto is, and you're stood in front of a Hall of Famer, you know, the winningest non-American on the PBA Tour, stopping him from bowling to take a picture of a Formula One driver who bowls with no thumb, actually. Going back to our previous conversation, he doesn't bowl anymore after his accident, bless him. But so yeah, papping Kubica on the approach. He was meant to leave early. Going back to that story, he was meant to leave early.
Yeah, the Formula One race, didn't he?
He asked the tournament organizer if he pulled out, if his spot would go to the next qualifier who missed the cut. And the rule was that that wouldn't happen, and there'd just be a bye or whatever it was. So he said, "Oh, not interested in that, I'll play." So he sort of rang BMW, he was driving for BMW at the time, and he told them that he wasn't going to make his flight. Turned up the next day, bowled, he got knocked out. Didn't see this next bit myself, so forgive me if this bit's not quite right, but apparently the story goes that he packed all his stuff away, ran outside, 2 BMW M3s turned up. The driver of the first one got out of the first one, got back into the second one, gave Robert Kubica the keys, said, "You've got to go there for this flight," gave him his flight tickets, and he had to drive to Italy or something to get his flight out to the Middle East.
Wow. Different world, isn't it? Yeah, what I liked about that story was a Formula One driver's into bowling.
Yeah.
That was cool.
He was good friends with, test my memory here, Marco Parapini.
All right, yeah.
Because his family moved to Italy, or I think maybe one of his backers was Italian as well. So they used to hang around a lot. Simon, even though Simon is now bowling, he's still doing his work as a commentator, because he's telling us that there is someone on lane 4 with front 8 strikes. Now that is multitasking, that. Oh, it's Matty Clayton.
Matty Clayton?
Yeah, it's Matty Clayton.
Matty Clayton?
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, keep his eye open on that, then we might have to spin the camera.
Have you got a camera angle of that?
We can spin this one round.
Have you got your roving camera? Is that set up?
We could have the roving camera, actually. Let's. Good call. If I can get it set up.
While Dom's doing that, we'll just take you back to our live pair here on 9 and 10. Got a couple of turkeys going on. Where's Selwyn? Ghislaine's got a good game going. Carol catch ball as well. Oh no, she's just left a 4-pin, bless her.
Right, here we go. Right, I'll go down then.
Cool. Yeah, I can see what you see, so. While he's moving over there, Matty has actually thrown the next one, so he's on front 9. It's on lanes 3 and 4. For us earlier, the bottom end of the house did play a little bit better than the top end of the house. So that's not a surprise. So anyone just joining us, this is the Irish Open sponsored by Storm over here at the Legeplex in Stillorgan. I am a guest commentator, Adam Michaels. Dom's just taken the roving camera over to lanes 3 and 4. Potential 300 game on the cards for Matty Clayton. The normal commentator Simon's actually in this squad. Not doing too bad. He's 38 over this game, going into the 9th frame. Can someone tell me on the chat if you can actually see the roving camera, because I think it might just have a bit of an interrupted feed. There he goes, Matty's stepping up, walking the boards for the 10th frame. Let's see if he can do it. Sounded good off his hand. Yeah, there we go, there's the first one in the 10th frame, so 10 in a row. Good start this from Matty in this block. Esther Simon, 8 strikes. No, not 8 strikes, unfortunately. He's got 2 turkeys this game, but he has had an open frame as well. So he is yet to bowl his 10th frame. He's on 206. So 26 over. Okay, roaming cam, not great. I'll do my best to describe what's going on then. Matty's just on the approach in the 11th frame. He's let go of it. He doesn't like it. But it's nailed all 10 back again. Chopped the 10 pin out. It's hard to see from over here, but he must have not liked it, missed right, but ball picked up. Smashed all 10 in the pit. We got 1 ball here for 300. Everyone else on lanes 1 and 2 is finished, so they're going to hang back and watch his last ball. 5 and 6 clearing the way as well. Here he goes, he's got ball in hand. Hopefully 5 steps a strike and a 300. Let's see. There he's let go of it, it's good off his hand. Oh, just high through the nose for I think a 7 count. No, an 8 count, 298, but a great game still from Matty Clayton there. Yeah, sorry Craig, I don't know what's going on there with the picture. Hopefully my description was as good as a picture, but I know it probably wasn't. But still, 298. Great game from Matty Clayton. Puts him well in with a shout of making this first cut. Picture was a bit iffy there, Dom, unfortunately.
Was it getting jumpy?
Yeah, very jumpy, black for a bit. But did my best to colour a scene in words.
Did we get the 300? Did we get the actual balls going down?
No.
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 Was it bad?
It was. Yeah, it was pretty bad, unfortunately.
Oh, right.
I don't know whether it's just the signal or.
It must have been. Yeah, it worked all right earlier. I'll have to test that again.
Craig said, apart from the dodgy accent, it was pretty good.
Oh, I can't do that about that. I would like to
no,
speak.
you weren't talking.
I would like to speak the Queen's English. Oh, you mean you?
Yeah. So what happened on the 12th? Because it looked from here that he didn't like the 11th, but he struck. But he
came
was
up
okay.
high.
Yeah.
Yeah, just came
through
up
the
high.
nose for the. Did leave the 3-6.
Grabbed at it a little bit.
Played an event in Shipley earlier last year. Matty was there, and he shot. I think he shot 21 strikes in a row. When he gets going, he gets going. He throws the ball
can
up
play.
there.
Yeah, there's quite a few young English lads that, if they played a bit more, they've got potential to go a bit further.
Yeah.
Is it worth it these days, though?
Well, I was just literally about to say it's hard to play more when there isn't that much money in it.
Yeah, it's getting difficult now. I think we've probably seen the last players that are going to get them deals that they can have careers out of it a little bit.
I mean,
Dom and Stu.
You got Richie Teese's just signed up with Storm, and he obviously won the rankings last year. I don't think the living is as good off that as it was, say, 10 years ago when the tour was created, etc.
Well, he didn't win the big tournaments, did he, last year?
No.
I mean, he won the EBT, but it were lesser tournaments that he won.
If you can use
and he did all right in the bigger ones.
If you can use it as a stepping stone to progress out there onto the American tour or the World Tour nowadays, as it's called, then obviously you can make a decent living out there. But I think you hit the nail on the head. I think you've got to be contracted to one of these companies to make a living out of it.
Oh God, yeah.
Dom.
You've got to be getting a wage to a degree.
Dom's obviously just signed with the EBI, big contract there. Deserves every bit of it. He's a successful bowler.
Yeah.
But to try and do it on your own, if you're not winning every tournament, it's going to be pretty difficult.
Nah, I've got to agree there. Let's have a look at the different angle for a change.
Sloan Ranger, what has Tora had for his first two? Well, he's just had a 256. If I remember rightly, his first game was 221, 222-ish, something like that. So he's around about the 80 mark without quoting me on it exactly.
Don't worry, Chris. Nobody's going to beat 15-22. Not yet, anyway.
Shouldn't have had that 190, Chris.
He just gives people a chance, does Chris, doesn't he, now and again? He's a good
Santu
lad.
also. Where is Santu bowling?
He's looked awesome and then he's looked rubbish at the same time.
Is he bowling on the same...
It's about his
pen?
third
No,
squad
not,
today.
Where is he?
He's just there. With crazy ponytail thing.
Oh, has he just finished on 11 and 12, 248?
248, yeah.
Didn't see his first game, no, I'm afraid.
He's been like that most of the day. Started off really good and then he's hit the transition and he's did 140 earlier.
So he must have come from 7 and 8, and I think on 7 and 8 there was only a couple of 220s, and obviously Tora had one of them. Have you got some bets on it, Chris? Is that what's interesting you, or is it just curiosity killed the cat?
He just wants to know if he's still top, if anybody's chasing him yet. I don't know what you think about being the leader in the tournament, but I don't like it. I don't like seeing the squad, the guy that bowls 15-40 or something and then goes out in the next round.
I like it if I get 3 buys.
I've seen a few people do it though. Tom Hess did it in the Brunswick Euro Challenge a few years ago, like 15-50 or something like that, and then he went out in 2 rounds.
I definitely know where you're coming from, and I think it also depends on the format of the tournament. So, for example, this tournament, if you're not making buys, so the top 4 get 2 buys, the next 4 get 1 buy, everybody else is playing the rounds. It's particularly severe this year. It's 3 games and you're gone. You always used to be either 4 or 6. Or
Yeah, you had a bit of time.
Yeah, you can have that bad game, whereas this time round, I think you really do want to avoid those 3 games because anything can happen. You could bang pocket for 3 games and have 6-10.
Well, that's it, yeah.
And be going home.
How many times do you see it in a step where somebody has something bigger than the next round? It's like, oh, you're expecting them to be up there and they're down here somewhere.
Especially this facility here where pair-to-pair is so different. Carry-wise, I don't think pair-to-pair is that different hitting the pocket-wise, but you could be, let's say last year, first round, there was Greg, Marcus, myself, Kira and Pertu from Finland. We were the top people who didn't get a bye, and only one of those 4 made it through to the next round. So I definitely know where you're coming from with what you're saying. But if it gets you that many buys into the match play, then I'll take it all day long. But
I said to Richie Teese at the Scott Banks tournament a few years ago, he was leading it, going into the next finals and all the rest of it, and I said, squad, the leader of the tournament's never won it. Is that right?
Yeah.
True enough.
You get some funny statistics like that with, with many sports really, but with bowling especially. I'm sure there'll be some statistician on the PBA will tell you how many times the seed number 1 has lost in the stepladder finals or something.
More often than you would think, probably.
I think that's different if you're talking about whether you want to be squad leader or not. Sometimes I think ladder leader has a bit of a disadvantage because you've not been progressing with the lane.
Yeah.
You know, you're coming in cold. Okay, you get your practice, but let's say, for example, someone runs the ladder from the 4 position or the 3 position. They've got a good picture of what's going on in the lanes.
Yeah.
You've been tournament leader. You're coming on to the lanes. You don't know what's going on. So
that's why you see people running the ladder sometimes, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah, you see people running the ladder. If the ladder is at a tournament where the cash jumps aren't massive, then I'd always actually prefer to be down the bottom of the ladder for that reason. But if, for argument's sake, 4th in the ladder got 5 grand, then it was 10 grand, then it was 20 grand, then it was 50 grand or something like that.
Yeah.
Give me the first spot every time.
Yeah.
Guaranteed 20 grand.
If I lose one game.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting back to no cash in bowling though, it's getting pretty bad now, isn't it? With the 11 stops of the EBT now instead of the 20 it was 3 or 4 years ago, and we got about the World League thing.
World Bowling Tour.
World Bowling Tour. That doesn't seem to have taken off like we thought it would.
I thought it was a good idea to begin with.
I saw it as an excuse to get the Americans at the top of the rankings.
Oh, never thought about that.
Because
Never
if you looked at it, they only played USBC Masters or there were like 4 or 5 American events. Most of the PBA Tour. So you had like Sean Rash up there, and you had Mika up there. Who, granted, he was there because he played the other world events as well.
Yeah.
But if you looked at it, we're top heavy with Americans.
Fagan was up there when he won his major.
They didn't travel that much.
Yeah.
So how a world tour is a world tour. It's not 5 events in America and 3 in Middle East and whatever.
Okay, yeah, I can see that point of view, definitely. I've just flipped back onto the chat. I've missed some questions here.
Right.
So Richie can confirm that he's sat beside me. What were we talking about? What you said about Richie? English Open, was it? Or
about Scott Banks?
Scott Banks, yeah, that was it. Sorry.
Not leading the...
Where's Daz the bookie this year? Daz, Dara McLaughlin?
Yeah.
Where is he? Yeah, I've not seen him.
Well, he's gone missing, hasn't he, since he had his kid? I think
another lefty, lucky lefty.
Spending time with his son, I believe.
He did like a gamble, didn't he? Oh, he didn't do the gambling though, did he? He was just the
no,
bookie.
he was just taking the money.
But then when he wasn't taking the money, he did like his what's the bookmaker down the road called? The little Irish
Paddy Power.
Paddy Power, that's it.
I've never done gambling because I've never had money to gamble.
Best way to be. I do like a flutter now and again.
I used to get upset putting £1 in the fruit machine and not winning.
I do like a flutter, but I'm a bit particular what I gamble on. I can't get my head around football matches and horses and stuff like that, but I do like a casino.
I like a sure thing.
I like a casino.
Casino.
Which obviously is harder to win when you're not back in one of a 2-horse race or...
Yeah.
That was a bad analogy because I meant the football then.
It must be nice to win a load of money, but you got to be prepared to lose it, haven't you?
Yeah.
Or have it in the first place. Yeah, I don't know what the answer is with bowling though. I don't think it's dying. It's just not going to be as massive as they all want it to be.
We had a conversation earlier today talking about why it's not great for TV, for example, and spectator sport. You compare it to some of the other products out there. I say products rather than sports because when you package it on TV, it becomes a product that are more enjoyable to watch. Some of the common things that are said, obviously, it's people don't understand it. It's got an invisible playing field, so they've tried to do that with the blue dye on the PBA. People don't understand the scoring. I'm not too far into that camp because I watch a lot of sports that I don't know what the hell's going on. When I started flicking on NFL or for the first time, I know quite a lot about it now, but when you first flick onto a sport that you've never watched before, Pro Kabaddi's on Sky Sports, don't understand what the hell's going on, but it's entertaining enough to watch to encourage you to go and learn about it. So if the product's entertaining, you'll go and learn about it. So whereas I do agree with the argument that it's hard to understand what's going on, I'm not a fully fledged member of that camp. I think there's a lot to be said for bowling takes too long. So if you compare it against a really successful converted pub game, darts, I think darts is really, really popular because something happens every 90 seconds.
Yeah.
You know, there's either a 180 or there's a big checkout, or somebody misses a checkout and somebody follows it up with a big checkout.
That's why World Bowling's gone for that, you know, shortened game, so to speak, 10 frames, and make it simple. And I think
they changed the scoring to try and make it more.
Yeah, I don't think that's the way forward though. I like more the idea of skins. You know, if you get a 9 and he gets a 9, you've drawn that point. If he gets a strike and you get a 9, he's got that point. And you go to 7-6 or whatever.
They tried that, but the argument against that was it took the spare game out of bowling. They tried doing it a bit like a match play, like in 18-hole golf.
But your spares still come into play if you both hit 9 and one misses a 9.
Yeah, but if you've hit a strike and I get 9,
you carry them over, or you know, and then the pressure's on because there's 6 points played for.
I think that's why they binned it in the end, and that idea, because they were trying to do it like you win 5 and 4 or whatever, like the golf thing. But
well, the one they've come up with not necessarily worked, though, has it?
No, not at all. But especially because, like I was saying before, it makes it easier to score, but you still don't understand what's going on the lanes.
Well, Sandra Anderson got screwed.
Yeah.
You know, she pretty much would have won her match when she played it like 2 or 3 years ago.
I think there was one of your interviews actually with Don Barrett. Maybe it was your interview or a PBA interview. And this is where I was going with the darts thing. Is he said that there isn't a climax in bowling often enough. So it takes 20 minutes, 25 minutes, half an hour even to bowl a one-on-one game. And the climax is only when you get to the 10th frame. And sometimes somebody's leading by 50 anyway, so you don't get the climax.
Yeah.
But in darts, something happens. Darts in itself, you stand at the hockey and you throw the dart, it's quite boring. Just taking the essence of it. But something happens. So, like I said, we were talking earlier, just throwing an idea out and anybody can shout at me, whatever. Instead of having, let's say, for example, you're playing your 10-frame games and you're playing a best-of-5 match play a 3-frame match, but play a best-of-15 or something, or make it legs and sets. And just see what happens. See if it's more exciting. I
think legs and sets is the way forward. Somehow.
Just got to make it more exciting.
I think it's up to the likes of Brunswick and Cubica AMF to develop their scoring systems to have different styles of scoring. I mean, Best X has got it with the games that they play.
Yeah.
But there's no reason why you can't have 7 or 8 different forms of scoring and let people, you know, pick the bones out of it.
Yeah.
They like it, they don't like it, whatever.
As long as when it gets on that TV that it's drawing viewers in because it's interesting, that's what we need to do.
Yeah.
And, you know, you watch the PBA shows nowadays, and obviously they're trying a few different things. They've got I can't remember his name, we've got the new guy who's like G'ing up the crowd, the announcer guy, I can't remember his name. They're trying a few different things that way.
Here you go. I'll be honest with you now. I do bowling as a living now. I don't watch it.
Wow.
It bores the
That's
crap
a sad
out of me.
indictment. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If I find it boring, then what hope is there?
You've got to catch the casual viewer, haven't you? Like I can watch bowling till the cows come in.
Well, the only thing that'll make this interesting is the commentary. You know,
I don't know how well we're doing at that.
Well, that's what I like about the streaming when it is on. I'll listen to the commentary if it's good commentary. If I'm learning something, if they're funny, you know, I think the Storm guys did something at Bowl Expo a couple of years ago, and they probably got in trouble for it because they were coming out with stories that were maybe locker room stories that weren't normally getting out, and something about Brian Voss and some white trousers and things like that, you know, really things that wouldn't normally have got said, but it was so funny. It was like the best stream I'd ever seen, and that's what I want from streaming. I don't.
Well, you want to hear some stories?
A strike's a strike. I want, you know,
want to hear some stories.
Not necessarily just some stories, but just a bit of light entertainment. I think when you look at the Weber Cup, why don't we have fan commentary? Why have we got Cass and the other guy? Why haven't we got a red button where we can have, I don't know, Basher Bomfield and
Basher
and somebody else?
I don't think we've ever done a show without mentioning Basher. It's
But
a good idea. It's a good idea.
I'd do that. I'd just have a red button and, you know, just put a disclaimer. Explicit badge or whatever. I've had a few people with the streaming basically saying that, well, we don't watch it most of the time, but we'll listen to the commentary, we'll listen to it like a radio show, and if something, you know, happens that's exciting, they'll come to the screen and have a look at it. Sorry, what were you going to say?
I was going to say there's a whenever Brian Voss or Norm Duke are around, there's usually entertainment following. I remember them coming over for Euro Challenge when it was Paris in St Maximin and having a lock-in.
I think I saw that one when he was wearing his Kangol hat all the time.
And it was around about the time that Mike Machuga did his Machuga flop on telly.
Right.
So we were a lock-in in the bowling alley, and everybody did a Machuga flop down the lane. And Norm Duke, I mean, at the time he'd have been approaching 50, I would imagine, but he was sprightly.
Yeah.
He jumped a hell of a long way down that lane. But yeah, BV sort of went down in stages. Didn't get far down the lane.
I think the Americans, when they started coming over to Europe a little bit more, I think they were shocked by how much people quite liked them as people, and not just as the stars. We all saw it as the legends and all the rest of it. It'd be great to get to know them, and then we got to know that they're actually not bad blokes. A lot of them.
Yeah. Just normal blokes at the end of the day.
Yeah, and then they're realising that we can let us hair down in Europe. We don't have to be whiter than white all the time or whatever.
Those two guys know how to. They've had a good time. They've lived their lives, been successful bowlers, earned a good living.
Yeah.
But they've enjoyed themselves along the way, I believe you me.
Oh God, I bet they have. Yeah. When you see what they've earned, you see like Chris Barnes has probably won £2 million or something like that, and you think he's a millionaire.
Yeah.
But over a long period of time and all the rest of it is.
Let's take the leading money winner was, of course, the GOAT, Walter Ray Williams. He's up over $6 million now.
Yeah.
But he's been bowling since 1970.
But I bet he's not got $1 million in the bank. He'll have a bit of money.
Does.
I bet he's got a bit of money.
I reckon he's got $1 million in the bank.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, I would imagine so.
I don't know.
He's got Paige, his wife, been looking after him, looking after each other, I should say, for years. They
actually saved a lot of money by having an RV, didn't they?
I was just about to say he was poster boy for Go RVing.
Yeah.
When it was at the time. So no, I reckon he's got some. If it's not, so maybe it's not in the bank, but he's got it in investments or
possibly,
property.
But yeah, I think it's probably hard to make that kind of money now.
Oh, for sure.
Even with a good staff deal.
For sure. I mean, back in what the 60s and 70s, the bowlers were rock stars. They earned more than basketball, baseball, all put together.
And that's where people need to remember that ain't coming back. No matter how much you think about it, they were the glory days, and you will not get that again.
There's a big difference from then to now in TV. Well, not just TV, but on-demand viewing on the internet and everything. I mean, back in the 60s and 70s, there was one, maybe two sports channels on the American TV, and at 7 o'clock it was bowling.
And you would get big numbers because there was nobody else.
If you wanted to watch sport and that was what was on, that's what you watched. Yeah. Whereas now, you can go home, if you don't like what's on the 6 Sky Sports channels or BT or whatever, you can flip on YouTube.
There's another 150 channels
absolutely
to watch. Yeah, I think the PBA as it is now is probably as good as it is going to get in the next few years. Say everything they do is right. I don't think that PBA league worked.
At least they tried something different
as
again.
As much as they wanted it to. I didn't buy into that. You couldn't really follow a team because they weren't a team, if you know what I mean. Yeah,
and it's a bit hard to follow who stays in which team.
I'd rather see the brands. I'd rather see Storm against Ebonite, against Brunswick, against Motive, against...
They did that when they did the team shootout, didn't they? They had it 6 flags.
Shorts and all the rest of it,
flags, yeah.
But I'd do that and I'd do it better. Because I think Storm want to know if they're the best brand each year.
You could create rivalries better, couldn't you?
Proper rivalry. And people follow brands. So all your Storm fans will go for the Storm, and your Motive boys. And then there's the poor radical guys over there. There's only 6 of them.
Yeah, I mean, speaking personally, I only throw Storm and Roto just through choice. It's not because of any sponsorship deal or anything like that. But so I pay particular interest in the pros that are throwing the Storm and Roto stuff. So yeah, it would create some interest for me personally. So I can imagine it doing so for everybody else.
It's all about the brands now anyway. So you may as well just run everything round that. There must be 8, 9 brands. Maybe not all of them are on the PBA tour, obviously. There's a lot of little ball companies.
Yeah, you've got to get accreditation and everything, haven't you?
Well, you've got to give a load of money at PBA.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And then even some of the ones that do produce illegal bowling balls.
I was going to ask Tom Barrett once, can I have a Talk 10 pin badge? And you know how much that would cost you?
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Yeah, forget it then.
Not made of money in Yorkshire, you know.
There's no money in Yorkshire.
No, it's the sport we love. Well, speaking personally, it's the sport I love. It's been in trouble for a few years. I sincerely hope there's a light at the end of the tunnel, especially for professional bowling, whether it be in America, Europe, or Asia.
We're all going to be string bowling soon.
Oh, I know. I don't know how I feel about that. I've not seen one personally. Obviously, I've seen one in the old days.
I've seen loads of them. I've not played on them, and I'm sure that you're going to get different pin feed leaves and all the rest of it, and the strings are going to knock over the pins and that kind of thing. So whether that'll be a sport, I don't know. Blender Electrical, lads, can we concentrate on the action and update some scores around the house? Yeah, we could if we were getting any scores, but they're not doing the scores until the end of the 6 games. So.
Oh, that's a bit. I wasn't aware of that. I thought you were getting an update every game.
No, I've not been getting any updates, so unfortunately.
So let's see how. I mean, Tora was about 80 over going into this game. Let's have a look down there on lanes 15 and 16. He's got a turkey. So no opens and no more doubles. So he's 18 over in this game with 2 frames to go. Ron under the radar hurt. He's got 4 bagger working. Again, because we're not updated, I'm not sure what his overall score is.
Yeah, and the scoring's not actually putting down a total like some centres where you can see they've had 650 over the first 3 or whatever.
Yeah.
It's a very old
at the end.
Score system. Yeah, usually gives you a rough idea. You can walk along then, but unless you literally go around every sheet and look at each sheet, you've no idea.
Ron's made it a 5 bagger. Tora Danielson, lanes 13 and 14.
Tell you what we'll do though, Adam. We'll go on the roving cam again, and we'll go to each of those people you've just mentioned, and
catch some strikes.
I'll show you the sheets.
Dom's just going to go and do that. Hopefully the roving cam will work a bit better than it did last time. So we're going to see some sheets, so we see how we're doing. Bearing in mind, guys, for buys at the moment, you want to be looking in and around the 1400 mark, which is around about 233 average. So when you're looking at these scores that Dom's about to show you, you want to be looking for around about 690, 700 after the 3rd game that we're bowling in now. To make the cut, that's going to be a good question. So the top 8 get buys the next 54, so that's going to be 62nd. Let's see what 62nd is now, if I can get that on my phone. Let's see. Update combined qualifying rounds. Bear with me, guys. No problem, Blender Electricals. We are here to please, so to speak, with anything that you guys want to do. If you want me to change the camera angles, obviously after this roaming, any questions, if you're particularly interested in any one bowler in particular that you know is bowling this squad, we'll try and keep you updated as best we can. There we go. So my Wi-Fi is not working on my phone, so I can't bring you the score for the cut at the minute. I don't suppose you can find that out for us, can you, Dom?
Were it just those 2 you're after, Tora and...
Only because they were on loads of strikes.
Yeah.
Do you know what the 62nd, 63rd place is at the moment after 6 squads?
I've no idea. I've not seen a sheet for a while.
No.
The results weren't in earlier.
So I know. So the top 8 get buys, and I know I was 6th or 7th on 200 over. So we know you got to be around 230 average for the. How's Chewy doing? Let's have a look. Chewy, John Chew. Where are you? Shouldn't be hard to find Chewy. Ah, he's down the bottom end, 1 and 2, graveyard pair. He's in his 9th frame. He's just. Wow, he's just mixed up a strike.
Yeah, he was surprisingly quiet early.
Well, the graphic for that strike, I'm a bit far away, guys, for me to see, but obviously you can see when it comes up with a 3-bagger, 4-bagger, 5-bagger graphic, whatever. There's only a strike. It looks like he's 130 in the 8th, working a strike. I have had laser eye surgery, but even that's too far for me.
So what you have to position?
Yeah, I was just trying to let the guys. You were going around showing the scores, so I was just trying to let the guys know where they need to be. Looking at these scores.
What is it, top 60?
Well, you got 27 twice, 54 plus 6 plus 8, so 62nd is going to be your cut, I believe.
David Keogh at the moment with...
So it's under at the minute.
Yeah, 11.73.
What does Finnish guys have?
Which Finnish guys?
It just says Finnish guys. Simon, if you could let us know whether you want somebody in this squad or do you mean Finnish guys in general? Top Finn.
Top Finn at the moment's way down.
Have you not got anyone on the first page?
Ollie Pekka.
What country was squad leader from in squad 6?
Oh yeah, he was, wasn't he?
Yeah, you go second place.
Second place, yeah.
What's his name?
Patrick Katuri, 14.60. So we've got Sloan Ranger at the top with 15.27, and then Petri Katuri with 14.60, followed by Paul Moore with 14.34.
Santu. We need to know how Santu's doing. Okay, I will go and find out. You stay there.
Yeah, we'll do. Santu's down there, I think. Was. He's been up and down all day as Santu. He's thrown some big games and then he's thrown a few smaller ones. Kid can play though. Deborah Kelly, I think the commentary is very entertaining. Tell Matty Clayton his mum says hi. Will do, Deborah. I think he's just in front of us actually on 7 and 8, so he's going to miss the featured pair, unfortunately. And talking about that featured pair, we're at 208 from, God, I can't even read that, Uki Breezhausen. And that's probably the pick of them. 198 for Danny Camphurst. But nothing much to report on that pair. Game 3 just finishing. 3 more to go. We'll be back again for all the squads tomorrow. Anyone that's just joined us, you're watching the 29th Irish Open live from the Leisureplex Bowling Centre in Stillorgan, Dublin, Ireland. And a shout out to the sponsors this year, Storm Products, thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
So, unfortunately, it's hidden his score sheet, so I can't see what he had first game.
Right.
But he did have a 246, 248 second game.
I think he went 240 first game, if you remember.
If he strikes, it's absolute spinning messenger for a strike in the 11th. That takes him into 220 for this game as well. So that could be 110 overish.
Very possibly.
Looking like a samurai warrior with that hairdo, isn't he?
Yeah. The Finns, they dance to their own beat, don't they?
They were telling me he was throwing urethane earlier, but I think that's an Alpha Crooks going down the lane at the minute. Tora 240, Ron Hurt 240. They're going to be thereabouts all the time, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be one of them two for the squad win, I would think.
See, for me earlier, that top end of the house played a little harder for carry, but obviously they're on the right-hand side of the lane to my left-hand side of the lane, but for me, the bigger scores were definitely coming from the lower end.
That's weird usually because it's opposite way around, isn't it?
Yeah, usually, definitely.
Lanes 1 to 6 usually in any centre are kind of open play.
In years gone by, I've hated 9 and 10 anyways. He sets up this live stream on 9 and 10 to get on 9 and 10.
It's always 9 and 10.
Yeah, well, it's right in the middle of the house. Coming on to the feature pair. Bart Reitzma?
Bart Reitzma.
Oh, this is the bit I was dreading. Why did I start this? Why didn't I let you? Michael Bars, Irene Danielson and Marcel van der Zee.
There you go, that was easy.
Must admit, they're not names that I am recognising. I'm sorry if there are any friends or family of these people are watching.
Michael Bears has played this event before. He comes each year. The other ones I'm not so sure. Tora Danielson.
Matty Clayton's mum was on here earlier, I think.
So yeah, she
just
just
commentary very
just
entertaining.
mentioned.
Tell Matty Clayton his mum says hi. Well, He's on 11 and 12, so shall we get the front on view with...
Yeah, you can do that, can't you?
Yeah. Oh, it's set up perfectly.
There
You
you
just
go.
need to fire me in there.
I'll fire you in right now.
So, I must admit, I like this view. It's not often you get to see bowling from front on. From a technical point of view, it's a great angle. You can really see timing well. You can see balance, obviously. You can see head placement and how still people are keeping their heads. That's massive in bowling for me. Obviously, everybody will have different ideas on key points of what makes a good technique, but head positioning and stability for me, right up there with other basics.
I think it's just a good, smooth process that's not too complicated. Usually,
There's
nice free swing.
Whatever it is you do, it's got to be repeatable.
Yeah.
So repeatability, consistency, that's the main thing. But obviously, you can do.
That's why Paul Moore was so good for so long.
You can do things to make what you do easier to repeat. So when we talk about people that are having unorthodox styles, it's not wrong. It's just hard to do.
It's right for them, but not something you could coach or emulate.
I love this view. Just interesting to see then, with that point I just raised, if you can have a look, some of these bowlers coming up. Let's just see how stable they keep their head. The body goes where the head goes. It's the heaviest part of your body. So if the head's still, you stay on your shot. Just coming up a little bit there.
Yeah.
In essence, we're a moving target. We're a moving body trying to hit a non-moving target. If your eyes are moving when you're trying to hit it, effectively you're making a non-moving target into a moving target because your perspective's changing. So for me, you've got to keep that head still. You've got to keep your eyes level to be able to hit where you're
Sounds like
looking.
good advice to me, Adam.
Let's see who's coming up here. Let's just flip to, it's going to be 2. Oh, no, wrong one. Quick. There's Matty's approach. Look, here we go. So Matty 290 earlier, sorry, misspoke there. You could say the classic style of Matty Clayton, but it's only become a classic style, hasn't it? The drop shoulder, power positions all the way through that you can see.
Yeah.
Nice knee bend at the foul line.
It's the beauty of bowling, though, isn't it? Over the generations, there's been so many different styles, and we're still seeing new styles that weren't around in the 60s or 70s.
Everything that we're teaching people to do nowadays, if you'd have said it to professionals back in the 70s or 80s, they'd say, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You know, back then it was straight angles, keep your shoulders parallel to the lane, keep your body straight, shoulders straight.
Cardboard bowling back in
Now
those days, wasn't it?
Now it's drop that shoulder. If you're right-handed, drop the right shoulder, get your left arm in front of you, load up on the elbow.
Now, I don't get this, how the bowlers are throwing their arm across the body, yet still throwing the ball out.
Yeah, okay.
It feels wrong to me. It looks wrong and it looks weird. And
yeah, so they get to the point of release, and then after they've released it, their arm goes in front of the face. That's what you're talking about, yeah.
And a lot of them are doing it now because it seems to be the way to do it. And I just look at that and think, how can you drag your arm across your body and get the ball out?
It doesn't make visual sense to
No,
me either.
not at all.
Again, if you could put it to analogy to another sport, to darts or something, you follow through towards the dartboard. You don't follow through down and away, do you? So
well, that's it. Yeah.
It doesn't visually make sense to me, but
It seems to work.
Don't know how it works, but some people.
No, Ramon does it. Most of them are doing it. Ramon Ilfrink. Who's the other one? Diana Zavjalova, one of the first ones I saw do it.
Well, Jesper Svensson does it. Two-handed lefty.
Yeah.
He comes in front of his face.
Him, I can understand because he drops his shoulder quite a lot, and he comes up, so he's dropping his head beyond where his arm would be coming up anyway.
Okay.
That makes more sense to me than some of the other ones. Because he's a big guy as well, isn't he?
Tall. He's not.
Well, no,
not
but I
much
mean,
meat
yeah, he's 6'3", something like that, 6'2".
Great bowler. Just won I don't know the name of the awards, but he just won
Rookie of
like
the Year,
Rookie
I
of the
think,
Year
won
in
it
the
in
Swedish Sports
Swedish,
Awards.
yeah. In an Olympic year as well.
I know.
More to the point. I mean, obviously they didn't have a lot of Olympic wings, maybe, but even so.
Seems to be having some connection problems.
Yeah, it's back again. It's not been too bad today, the Wi-Fi cam.
Hadley says it's called the 21st Century Swing.
Well, it's actually going in slow motion now.
You might need to come off that view.
Yeah, we'll come off the view for a bit while it all speeds up. The 21st Century Swing.
21st Century Swing. I like the sound of that. It rolls off the tongue, doesn't it?
Nah, I don't like it. No, that's all right, 21st Century Swing. I just don't like the idea of punching yourself in the face sort of thing.
Yeah.
You know, who's going to be the first person to do it and whack their eye?
There must be some explanation behind it, because I'm guessing these guys just started doing it naturally. I'm guessing it wasn't taught to them like that.
I don't know. There seems to be so many of them doing it now.
You've got to look at it and say there must be some reason they're doing it. I've never taken the time to look at it, but it does visually look weird. I'll go with that.
It's not often I get people who agree with me. Thanks, Adam.
Hang on, what's that? What's that pig doing up there?
Huh? Oh yeah, it's
that
flying.
pig.
Yeah, featured pair then. Bart seems to be the pick of the players with a couple of spares and a double. We need a new scoring system here. We need to talk Leisureplex into getting better X or something.
The Brunswick scoring system does that, like you said, a cumulative score on each one, doesn't it?
Uh-huh.
And you can see, so for example, guys, if anyone's not sure what I'm talking about, if you can see the screens on our featured pair, you could see Irene's on 45, but at the end there it'd also say 630 or plus 30, or
yeah.
So you can have some sort of idea of what they're doing.
Most of the newer systems do it as a matter of course now, but this is Boss system, I think, and this is what, late 90s, 2000, yeah. So it must be 16, 20 years old, more even. In fact, more than that actually. It must.
Is that official bowling attire that Jos Bakker's got on there?
Jos, where is he?
He's just in front of you there. Just wait till he turns around. There we go.
Jeans and a Playboy shirt.
Jeans and a Playboy shirt. Only in Ireland.
He's not happy either, for a change.
He's just missed a temping, I think. So.
He always looks like he's going disco dancing though, doesn't he? Jos, he never puts any effort in.
He always looks like he's just been disco dancing.
Yeah.
Until 4 in the morning.
Well, he usually has.
Yeah.
Especially when in Malta. I like Jos though, he just kind of shovels it.
I can't not like him, he's a lefty.
He's
it's
not
in
happy.
the rules. Oh, skinny jeans there, Matty Clayton. Taking up that 10 pin. I think could be a couple of bowlers here threatening those top 8 positions at the end of this squad.
Yeah, there's going to be a few in. Well, at least 2 are going to make that top 5 if they carry on the way they are doing.
If Tora and Ron keep going the way they're going, obviously Matty's had that big game. I'm not entirely sure what he's had the other games, but anytime you shoot 290, you're going to be, as long as you're not following up with a 150, you're going to be up there.
Well, exactly, yeah. You're a couple of 220s and you're already 100 not over.
This is a very high scoring pace, this pattern that we're playing on in this building.
It's a case of finding out what time of the day gets the biggest scores now, though. Sometimes it can be during the day. Most of the times it's usually on an evening when the better players turn up. But then you get the late squad that you sometimes get nothing.
How is Thomas Kai? Can somebody help us with this pronunciation? Kaiko doing at the moment? He went that way, didn't he?
He
If I
did,
remember
yeah.
rightly. Let's have a look. Unless he's flipped down the bottom end of the. He was right in front of us earlier. Where's he gone? He's not to our right. So where is he?
I forgot what it looked like, to be honest.
Oh, feature pair's warming up nicely while we try and find.
I'll go find him for you.
Like so, yeah. Dom's going to go and find out how Thomas is doing for you. Oh, thanks, Deborah. Matty 92 over. This game, I know you probably can't see it. He's 3 under through 5 frames with a strike on the 6th. So pace in 190s. Feature pair warming up nicely, like I started to say. Got 2 turkeys on the board. Where's Selwyn? Nowhere. Bart going for a turkey. Is it no double?
There you go then. Prepare to be shocked. 279, 279, 174.
Who? Thomas?
Yeah.
Wow.
Back-to-back
So
279s.
158 over minus 26, so 132 over. That's not a bad start. You said that. I was thinking that after front 10 in the first game.
How many times do you see that though? 260, 160.
I know, yeah.
Or
100
270,
difference.
170.
Shouldn't be possible, but that's just the way our silly sport works.
Well, daft as it seems, if you don't catch a double in the first 5 frames or anything like that, it can soon be a messy game. You know, you get strike, spare, double, strike, spare, 9 miss.
When the scoring pace is this high, if you haven't already had a double in the first 5 frames, you can start chasing it, and you start trying too hard, and then you can actually get yourself into a bigger hole. When the scoring pace is low and you don't have a double, then you're sort of relaxed in the fact that you could punch out from the 9th and still have 210 or something. But when does Sell bowl? Sell bowled with in our squad actually. In my squad 6.
He did bowled earlier, yeah.
To be honest, there wasn't a hell of a lot of gobbling going on.
I don't know what you're talking about. No, not around here, the one.
He slapped me with a sticker after 3 frames, and then my playing partner there, Roger, got a couple of stickers.
Oh, he's giving out stickers, isn't he? Turkey
Yeah,
stickers.
it says, I was gobbled by Selwyn in Ireland.
Ah, dear. Ew.
Have you seen he's brought a turkey suit with him?
Yeah, I've seen that, yeah. I told him he's got to wear it on stream.
He said he wouldn't wear it to bowl. Said he's
No,
taking his entry seriously.
Not seen an
Fair play to
EBT
him.
rule that says you can't wear a turkey outfit.
Yeah, if you can wear a Playboy shirt, then you should wear
Well,
it.
I would have thought so, yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, what's the difference between a turkey suit and what Kyle Troop wears? You could say clown, turkey.
Yeah.
Although
It's that team fish, isn't it?
I really like Kyle Troop, though. I don't know, he's good for the sport.
They announced that Weber Cup team, and a lot of people raised their eyebrows at some of the selections because they were like, okay, he'd won an event, one of the animal patterns, I think it was.
Yeah, Viper or something
But
like that.
he's not a household name like some of the names he'd been bringing over, but he embraced the event really well, I thought. Played to
He
the
got my
crowd.
vote. I emailed Luke and them at Matchroom, and I said I put down my name of players that I'd like to see, and he was one of them.
Yeah.
He's entertaining.
Absolutely.
He's what TV's all about
Yeah,
sometimes,
And he bowled bloody well.
and he did. He grabbed it by both hands, and he was best player on the team for the Americans last year. So if he doesn't get a call back this year, I'd be disappointed for him.
Do you think it was? What do you think about it going down to 4 players in the Weber Cup?
Had to do cash.
Yeah, I know it's a money thing, but I'd like to think if
5 I thought were too much. 4's about right. There's no 5-man leagues anymore and stuff, is there?
I'm just not a massive fan of a 4-man baker.
5, 4.
Yeah.
Tomato.
Xander thinks he should definitely wear the turkey suit in his interview.
I think I'd like to see a non-playing captain if you were going to take it back to 5.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Because I don't. Tim goes every year, and He wears his heart on his sleeve. He's American through and through. And I don't see any reason why he shouldn't be a captain stroke coach, a non-playing one. Maybe don't make all the decisions because you've got a playing manager as well.
Yeah,
but, you know, strength in numbers sometimes. And
You
I'd have Thomas Lee Anderson back for Europe or somebody like that.
You could make it part of the event, because I know at the minute in the Weber Cup they have those matches where it's captain's pick, where they pick the opposition player to play this game, which implies that you're going to pick the player that's struggling the most, which for me isn't great for the TV products, because if you are picking the team's worst player and the worst player plays against the worst player and it's 170 versus 170, it's not a great game to watch. So perhaps if you had a non-playing captain and you did more things like that, like a captain's pick, but introduce different rules that I'm spitballing, so I don't have them off the top of my head, but you could make it part of the event. The non-playing captain's role could be really important.
Or the usual, everybody says, why do you have a woman on the team?
You used to. First year Kelly Kulik came over for the first year.
Yeah.
God, I'm showing my age now. So, just change the subject back to the action. Down on lanes 1 and 2, we have got some strings of strikes. My eyes see front 6 or 7 for Tora. And I think spare 6-bagger. But I can't make out the name.
Yeah, we'll keep his eye open for them as they get closer to the...
It's the only good thing from the distance point of view from the scoring system is that when they don't fill the numbers in, you can tell they're on strikes.
You just don't often see Aki score anywhere now. A lot of them have they've had some kind of update in
Still
centres.
in Nottingham?
Is it? Oh, well, yeah, MF.
Say no more.
Yeah, say no more. How they're still going, I don't know.
Not to get too distracted from the edge lanes, we got a few strikes on this feature pair still. Bart's putting together a good game here. Another strike in the 10th for 230. And James Wigmore. Did that carry the 10? Yeah, carried the 10 on lane 12. He's running a 6-bagger now. Another strike for 69, 120, 150.
I like James. He's got one of them horrible styles that he bowls well.
Yeah.
You know, he's got it down to a T for him.
So going back to that conversation, it's maybe not something that you necessarily teach to somebody, but if you can repeat it and it's effective,
I'm not proud of it, but when I was a kid, we would take the absolute, I don't even want to say the word. Mickey.
Go with Mickey.
Out of people with crazy styles, you know, the ministry of silly styles sort of thing. But nowadays, I quite embrace it.
Have you seen the backwards bowler?
Yeah.
On
that's
YouTube.
Quality, that.
There's a video on YouTube, if nobody's seen it, it's a backward bowler from America. He took up backwards bowling because he was horrendous forwards.
Lost audio.
Tell us when it's back, Craig.
We should have audio because the thing's going up and down, as if to suggest that we've got audio.
I still have audio. Craig, it's yours.
It's yours, Craig. Get off the ZX Spectrum and go on to the Asus.
Lost my chain of thought now. Where was I?
I'm not sure. $238 then from Bart, 186 from Irene. We were talking about crazy styles, weren't we? And James
Crazy
Whitmore
backward bowler.
Backward bowler.
If nobody knows what we're talking about, he was awful forwards, so he took up backward bowling as a joke. Got his average up to about 190. He actually got ejected from a tournament for horseplay. He wasn't leading the tournament by any stretch of the imagination, but he wasn't doing himself any harm or embarrassment. He was averaging 190, 200. He's got a high game of 279.
We used to bowl through his legs in league.
He used to put a chair on the lane.
Yeah, all sorts of stuff. You know, if you'd already creamed the team you were playing, what's the point?
Yeah, sandbagging.
Sandbagging.
Protecting your handicap.
What does that mean?
Tora is on front 8.
Yeah, we'll make a move down in a moment with the roving cam.
Get the 9th, yeah. It's a shame you can't rove cam and commentate at the same time.
We can, but I don't think it comes out as well.
I've got to try and.
You've got to do the commentary.
While
I hold it.
I'm a commentary virgin, and you're leaving me on my own.
You're doing well. You're doing better than I am. which isn't hard.
Tora must actually find it quite hard on lane 1 with his drift. Must get his left arm quite close to that wall. There he goes. He likes it.
Oh!
Trip
He
4-9.
got it, yeah.
Tripped the 4-9. Slapped it out. On his way back. That is front. I'm sure that's front 9. Yeah, front 9.
You're on about fit players earlier, though. I don't think there's many people in this field fitter than Tora.
Well, Tora, you brought up the list of winners earlier, 1996. I don't think he looks a day older than when he was in 1996.
Does he? Yeah. Fair play to him. He's looked after himself.
I think we should change that topic now, considering that I'm a little bit rotund.
Right,
so Tora's showing him how to do it on that pair.
I'll get everything ready and we'll go up and... strike from Ron Hurt, though. That's not a bad pair for the pair of them, though, is it?
Yeah.
They're going to bounce off each other.
Definitely.
All right, let's get up to the...
Yeah, you've got a little bit of time to get there. Oh, to be fair, you're going to have... is it Santu? You're going to have him on there? He's on there.
Get Santu as well. Yeah, just going up there now. Michael just bringing up the scores
Santu struck, so you've got to get over there fairly sharpish. Santu double going into the 10th.
I'm quick.
Sprightly Dom. So with a top class bowler like Tora, we have a serious chance at a 300 here, guys. And it might even be a rare one for lanes 1 and 2. As Dom was saying earlier, the lower end historically has been harder to play than the top end. But let's see how he gets on. He's going to have a little bit of a crowd as well, because some of the bowlers are finished. Here he goes, he's on the lanes. And he likes it, good off his hand. Yeah, flush in the pocket there, 1-3 pocket. 10 back, no questions, no pins left on the deck. Front 10. I think that roving camera's gone black now, has it, guys? Can anybody tell me in the chat? Am I going to have to do it all for you again? So Tora is, he's just cleaning his ball, ready to go. He's gonna walk the boards here for the 11th frame. Already must be about 110 over, so yeah, he likes that one as well. Sounded good. Oh, a little bit high for a 4-pin. So we got another two. Sorry, I misspoke. It's a 4-6 split. So he's going to be a 280. I think it's going to be a 288. There we go, 238, 256, 248, 280. So Tora really challenging Sloan for that top spot, but making a run at those top 4 regardless. So he was the winner back in 1996, which doesn't sound it. It's 21 years ago. So he's been a top class bowler for a long, long time. Still showing us how it's done. Some of the crowd there, making his way back over to us. Teresa Watts was on lanes 3 and 4. They're a little bit behind in this game. She's only bowled 7 frames. She's pacing 190. That roving camera, the further away you got, the worse it got again. The roving camera, further away you got, the worse it got. It's just going, it goes black and laggy, and then as you were coming back, it was perfect. We've got a little bit of a disjointed squad here. We've got some people in the 7th frame, some people have finished and been finished for a while, starting the next game. Going to be going into game 5. 2 games to go down here at the Leisureplex here in Stillorgan. Storm Irish Open. Dom's gone to try and find me another guest commentator, but Adam Michaels here with Dom Gall. Chewy's on the approach. What's he going to do? Strike for 203. Been a while since I've seen Chewy play. Sober. Yeah, he got 8 for the 201. Normally 200, good game, but unfortunately here with this scoring pace, actually looking at losing 20 pins for a 200. Should see if I could get Dom to post a link to the pattern actually. One of the easier ones you'll see out on a tour event. I think it's 10-1 on the ratio. While Dom's up and about, if there's any names that you want me to find, get him to go and find out how scores are doing, give us a shout on the live chat. Any questions we can answer? I'll try my best as long as you don't keep it too technical. Down the high end of the bowl, we got some more strikes going to a 5-bagger for... Oh, I'm not even going to pronounce that name. Wasn't that exciting anyway because he missed. Matty Clayton, so he was 97 before this game. He is one of the ones that's finished his game, so his score's been cleared, annoyingly. And when I looked in frame 8, he was pacing 190, which would say his max would be 220, but I don't know whether he did it or not, I'm afraid. He did have a couple of open frames in that game. A couple of single pin misses, I think it was, which is a little bit unlike Matty. Folded them a few times. Really good, solid player. Former, I think, England junior, I think World Championships. Or World Youths. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I'm trying to do this all off memory. Coming on to the feature pair. Let's get the camera on the feature pair. We've got Pat Holmes and John Stubbsvey Bang. I don't know if that's his full name. Again, I do apologise, not recognising some of these names. They're on the left lane on lane 9. On the right lane, getting ready to bowl here. We got Guttorm Bjorn and John Chew. So any Chewy fans out there, you're going to get a full game of him. Chewy, not sure where he's living nowadays, if he's still over in Ireland, but of course from Lincolnshire originally. Known him since we bowled for counties, and he's another England international. He's coming up. Let's give you a... we'll go with the back view first up. We'll give you some front view later on. Not much going on left and right. Like I say, we're a bit disjointed at the minute. I don't know what's been happening with breakdowns and things, but... How are you doing? Get me a partner. We're trying to entice Barry Foley onto the live stream, and it usually doesn't take much enticing. He's on his way. He's on his way. Come on. Everyone's sick of my Yorkshire dulcet tones. We need some Irish.
Jesus Christ! You're sick listening to
you. See your man there. You see your man there, Barry Foley.
No, that's not. That's a Pakistan accent they're doing at the moment.
Sorry.
That's not an Irish accent. See your man there.
Welcome.
I'm here. I'm back.
You're in the booth.
How's things?
Very good.
Yeah. Any questions? Anybody want to?
We got a few people in with
Big
us.
shout out. Who's on board?
There's not millions.
No, I
but
can see that.
there's a good solid 150,000 viewers.
Yeah, that's okay. Well, I expect
okay,
that.
yeah.
When Barry Foley's on, at least be 150,000 viewers. So nothing
So here
exciting.
he is for your listening pleasure, the man, the
Yes,
living legend.
Living legend, I wish.
Adam Michaels, joined by the clown Barry. Sorry, Barry.
Oh, that's
I'm
all right, Adam. That's all right. I believe you stranded at Dublin Airport next year as well. Don't you worry about that, pal.
Yeah.
I was actually in bed this morning when you texted me.
Barry.
I'm not getting out of my bed for this.
Barry organised my lift from the airport.
No, well,
12 hours
no, hang
after
on a
I was
minute.
landing.
Let's get this right. Miles Corney said he'd pick you up. You told him 9 a.m. and he thought it was 9 p.m.
Yeah, I can,
So I
can
can't
still
help
show
that.
you the messages.
I can't help if you and Miles can't get your AM and your PM sorted. It has nothing to do with me. I done the best I could to get you picked up.
You can't get the AM and the PM. But as
No,
long as
you got to get the
AC
AM,
As
PM.
long as we get the AC/DC, it's fine.
That's it.
How's it going then? You've bowled a good block?
Yeah, I
First
bowled a
early
block on
doors?
Sunday. Yeah, I just felt I felt really good Sunday. I felt if I came up Sunday and I felt it was my opportunity to shoot a big set, and up until lane 15 and 16 the last game at 209, and I really felt a good 1460, 1470. But
I feel like that's going to be the number for the buys.
yeah, I think
it's
so.
gonna-
I
it's
think
gonna
I'm going to
creep up
have to.
there.
Yeah, I think. Well, look, I have 2 more squads. So looking at it today, there's a 200 there from Finland. Looks really good to shoot 15.
Santu.
Yeah, Santu
and
Tor. He was second in Sofia.
Yeah, Torres started 210 over for 4 or something like that.
Right, so that's obviously, you know,
Yeah.
he's going to be there. And then, you know, Paul Moore had 1430, which he's going to have to probably put another 40 or 50 on that. I think the other Finland guy,
Pertu,
yeah.
Well, there's Pertu Jussila who he only had 130 over.
oh, someone told me 14.
But there was another Pertu, but I can't pronounce his surname.
Right, okay.
He had 14.
60, did he?
Yeah. he
All
was
right,
squad
so
leader.
it looks as if, the top 4 at the moment is about a 1460.
So work that backwards. That's going to be a 240,
247.
something like that. Yeah.
45 average, 246. Yeah, I think, Sloan's 254 average
Yeah,
at the moment.
Sloan's ridiculous with a 199.
With a 199. Well, look at
Yeah.
all them revs. Anyway, he's a pro, isn't he? So we should be shooting them.
Absolutely.
If you're a pro, they're the kind of games you should be shooting.
Especially on a pattern like this.
And then obviously Ghislaine, she's still in it. You know, I mean, she's obviously she won Sofia. Okay, she's struggling now at the moment. She got to, you know, she's at the finding out how bad 13 and 14 is.
Yeah.
And I think it killed her confidence. She went to 17, 18, and she had to wait 10 minutes to go on. So I think a bit impatient there, and she just obviously kind of let it get to her. So, but I expect her to shoot big tomorrow.
For sure she'll re-enter and she'll have a picture of the lanes and what to do.
Yeah, no, she's too good. So for me, there's a couple of 200s and a few lefties that are definitely going to be in the top 16. So listen, if I can get in the top 16, I will be very, very happy.
There's a decent lefty from Hull and a dodgy lefty from Hull, isn't there?
The dodgy one would be you. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
right. Yeah, you're the dodgy one. 'Cause, I mean, you've got about a 10-board target. So
yeah, still
I mean,
miss
all
it.
you have
Yeah,
to do is
yeah.
hit, you know, and you're still missing to the right and the left. I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And who's the other one? Who's the other lefty from Hull? Paul.
Paul, yeah.
He's not bad. I mean, he's all right.
He's pretty good.
He's
isn't he?
all right. He's all right. You know, when he shows up, he's all right.
But what we got? We got top 4 get 2 buys, next 4 get 1 buy, and then the next 54 play 3 games, don't they?
Do you know what? The format is just so confusing. All in my head I'm thinking is just make the top 4 and get to the top 16. But you know, with 14, 20, I would assume I've cashed. I would assume I'd be in that top 32.
You'd be in the. It'll easily be enough for the top half of the
There's not-
round
yeah.
oneers.
There's
for
not.
want of a better phrase.
I don't think there's many bowlers going to shoot 14.
The problem is, of course, you've got those 54 players all playing just 3 games. If you catch a
That's
bad
the
pair,
thing.
you're going to be going home.
That's exactly what it is. So that's what scares me. So if I have to, I'm playing Saturday. I'm playing tomorrow at 8 and Saturday at 12. And if I can just
Me and you
just
play
get
the
that
same.
14. If I can get that 1460, 1470, I'll be very happy.
8 p.m. or 8 a.m. tomorrow.
I am PM.
Yeah, same as
I
me.
couldn't do AM.
We
no.
could be sharing a leg.
We could be, yes. Well, that's good. That's one person I don't have to worry about being on my line.
Shall we tell the folks how our friendship started?
You know what? Your memory's probably better than mine. I've got old over the years, and my memory has got. I think I've got a bit dementia.
Do you
So-
remember sleeping in and giving me your spot?
Sleeping in, give me your spot. Sleeping in, sleeping in. Was that in here? Was that
Yeah,
here?
yeah.
Oh, was that you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I slept in. Barbara Mahan rang me and said, Barry, where are you? I was like, I'm on my way, I'm on my way. She goes, it's too late. I was like, oh, no. So I started crying the side of the road and went home.
Sunday morning, I want to say top 24.
No, it was top...
Because it was the old-fashioned style where it was top 10 round robin.
Top 24, yeah.
And I think it was around the 24, and I'd finished 25th, and I went out Saturday night and absolutely drank myself silly. Sharing a room with Paul. Paul turned up here on Sunday morning, rang me and said, you've got 10 minutes to get here because Barry Foley slept in. Stu Williams' dad came to pick me up. I rolled out of bed, rocked in. My bowling balls was in the ballpark.
Yeah.
Rocked on the lane, shot 220, 280, 220, 260, and missed by 3 pins.
Oh, I'd done that, and then the following year then I missed the top 10 because making the top 10 back then was so hard.
Oh,
like you had Thomas Lee
it was
Anderson,
pin building though, wasn't
you had Goran Carlson, you know, it was so hard to make it, and I missed the top 10 by 1 pin the following year. And the guy that got ahead of me was an Irish lad, and he doesn't bowl now. I think he went to prison since. And he actually was late coming back for check-in, and they let him play. I was gutted. Gutted. But I'm glad 2013 happened.
But that was the format. There was pin building format, wasn't it? You played 4 game blocks, 4 games, adding it up, and then the round robin at the end, 10-game round robin marathon.
It is, yeah. But just for me at that time, making top 10 was a massive achievement because it was a separate prize fund for the Irish, and if you made top 10, obviously you got great ranking points, and you made a few quid for being part of the Irish. You would have got first or second place in the Irish, you know.
So
cool.
Back to the action here, Barry. You said you've been following the two-hander finish for Santu.
Yes.
We've got some people on the chat who are following him closely. Was he using urethane earlier, and has he changed to the Alpha Crux now?
Yeah, he was using urethane. He came up and said to me, it's impossible for me to miss the puck. I was like, really? I was like, that's nice. I said, with a pitch black? He said, yeah.
Can you say it with his accent?
No, probably not.
Okay.
I'd probably end up talking Australian or something.
Okay.
I'm not really good with the Finland accent.
Okay.
I'm really good with a lot of accents, but just not the Finland one. I need to work on that.
Okay.
If he was beside me here talking for 5 minutes, then I would obviously pick it up.
So he made the switch to the Alpha Crux.
I seen him go deeper then, obviously. But you'll end up doing that because with the outside on some of the pairs here, as I call it, there's a little bit of hang.
Yeah.
So we all know what hang means. And if you hit that hang, you're going to leave 8-10s or 2 8-10s or, washouts. So, of course, they go reactive, go a little left, open up the shot a little. But then, of course, you're in danger of leaving ringing 10s and 7s. The ball isn't going through the pins as well as it was on the outside. So, but of course, he's two-handed and has 750 billion revs. He probably won't have that problem.
No.
So, I expect this guy to make top 16,
Yeah.
At the end, you can pick it out. You can pick the guys who are going to be there,
The hang's interesting because I played on the same lane as Paul's earlier, and we found a couple of the pairs had a bit of hang.
Yeah.
But literally, it wasn't both lanes on the pair, it was the odd lane. So maybe of the 12 lanes that we played on, 2 of the lanes had hang. Is it the same on your side of the lane?
It is.
It's
13
not every
and 14,
pair,
lane 13 has got hang. Lane 15 had a little bit of it. Lane 3 has the most of it. Lane 3 is ridiculous.
A lot of pocket 7-10s on lane 3.
Ridiculous. You've got to be... Yeah, yesterday, I hit 10, and I said to myself, that's a strike. And I missed a hairpin.
Wow.
And I left the washout. So I was like, oh, that's weird. So then I changed ball and struck on the exact same spot. And I ended up having 7 in a row. But then when I got to the 10th frame, I think I went flush 9, which cost me 260. So 240. Cost me 20 odd pins, 21 pins. So... But that was nice. I was able to change straight away, and I knew exactly, I suppose, what ball would suit that. So if you can make the ball change quick and it works quickly, you'll still end up shooting 240.
If you can remember the lanes that had hang, before you get on them, you can make that adjustment early. It's all about making the adjustment before you get bitten, isn't it?
But then
again, you've got to keep an eye on who you're crossing with, because if you've gone on a lane that's had some hang and you're following urethane, it's going to have even more hang.
That won't have hang. That will have oil picked off. With the urethanes, as you know, it's a harder surface. It takes the oil off the front of the lane, leaves it at the back of the lane.
It takes it down,
which means you might actually get a sliding pin or two because the oil is on the pin deck. And I've seen that today. I've seen it a few times today. But I know people go in the back of the lanes and do that. I'm not a massive fan of that. You know, I'm not a massive fan of it because I just tend to play. I tend to go on the lane and I tend to just focus on what my ball is doing and adjust from there.
Okay.
You know, I'm not a huge fan of that. I don't know why, but I'm just, you know, I don't need to walk down 6 or 7 lanes to see how a two-hander's bowling on that pair, because he's thrown it a lot different than me. He's obviously going to be a lot more left than me. But yeah, you're right. If there's 3 people with Uretanes on the ball on that pair, but I mean, I still have to go on that lane and I still have to throw the ball. So even if I'm watching them and doing what they're doing, I feel as though I'd be distracting myself from finishing off my game.
Not staying in the moment.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
okay.
I tend to just focus on the game in hand, finish my 12 frames, shoot 300, and then go down and worry about it.
Yeah, okay.
You know.
How many 300s you shot this week? That sounds like a winning game plan.
I should have shot a couple on Sunday.
I should have had one this morning.
So unlucky on Sunday, but yeah, you were unlucky as well. You bottled it, hard luck.
Yeah, nipped it a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, we obviously nicked it. They got caught in the thumb, we always say, but actually you were probably breathing very heavily and literally shit your pants, didn't you?
I was.
You shit your
Can
pants,
you say that on the
yeah,
live stream? Can you say that?
Barry Foley's here.
What viewing rating have we got on this? Have we got R or triple X or what? 18 viewing rating?
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, I was shaking on the approach.
You were bricking it.
Knees are knocking. What you
got to do is breathe heavily. Make sure you take 3 or 4. If you look at Don Barrett in the PBA, he takes an extra couple of deep breaths and makes such a difference, you know.
Paul Gregg, what's the top 16 going to be then if we're picking them? You keep mentioning
top 16, like in terms of numbers, or
no? He's wanting some names. I think by the look at it. You keep saying, oh, he's going to do this, he's going to do that.
Well, obviously
this is an easier question than one we had earlier. Earlier on, somebody came straight out the gate with who's going to win.
Well, my money's on Ghislaine because you're giving her 8 pins.
Okay.
I mean, giving Ghislaine, Ghislaine playing her scratch is hard enough, but to give her 8 pins on the left-hand side, you've got to fancy her or Paul Moore, obviously, because the left, obviously Hadley Morgan had a good look yesterday. You know, to be fair to you've got the whole left-hand side. I've seen you when you're playing well. You can shoot gazillions if your head's right.
Thank you.
I feel mentally you're not as strong as Paul or Hadley or Ghislaine. If you can get your head right, that's always been a problem. You'll shoot 180 as quick as shoot 280.
Yep.
And that's what I see with you. So it depends how your head is coming into this. I don't know if you've been practicing much, if you've been working on your game. I don't know if you've been shooting millions back home. But if you can come in here with a bit of confidence, I think you could win this tournament. No disrespect. Jamie Bottomley has won this tournament.
Yeah.
And I find you up there with Jamie in terms of the top lefties in the UK. You know, and I think you have a very good chance of making top 16. I wouldn't look past top 16 at the moment, but certainly let's mention the top 16. Like definitely, I think obviously Chris, Hadley Morgan, Paul Moore,
going to be
Tora. Well, Tora, Tora can surprise you. Tora can go missing here. He's gone missing over the last couple of years here. He'd shoot 502 and then he'd shoot a 380.
Yeah.
In the match play, he can go missing. The year I won it, he went missing. I think it was one match and then it was gone. I find Tora in the match play around the top 8. He kind of dies a death.
Okay.
I've never seen him in top 4. So I don't know. I don't put Tora in that bracket.
What about the losing semi-finalist from last year, Ron Hurt?
No, Ron. I didn't like the look of Ron's reaction today. He had a lot of flat 10s. He didn't make any adjustment there. He just stayed on the same line. When Ron isn't striking early, then I don't think Ron is, look, I'm sure he's going to shoot a 13 plus today, but he just didn't have a good look earlier on. He left a lot of flat pins. Now, I could be wrong. He could be 200 over at this stage. I don't know, but from what I've seen, he doesn't have the same look as he did last year.
The viewers are putting you on the spot. We've got to get an answer. So
what is it?
So what about Santu, you reckon? Both Pertus from Finland. They're both class.
You can't rule out the
Richie
Finns. Richie's look at Richie's EBTs, and he's won a few EBTs, and he's a class player. He's the smoothest bowler on the tour at the moment.
What about along with yourself on the Irish contingent? Who have we got here this year?
Well, you can never rule out Barry Foley because obviously being a past champion. One sec. And obviously I'm always confident playing here, and if I get a good look and get locked in, I'll beat anybody. Nobody can scare me in this bowling centre. as soon as I get comfortable here, as soon as I get locked in, right, if I have the right ball in my
get-
hand and I feel good, I'll challenge everybody.
If you get on that wave, your momentum just carries you and carries you and
that's
carries
it.
you and
I have
carries
no
you.
problems.
You just,
I've gone
you just don't,
back
you
to
don't
back
bail.
270s, 280s here. It doesn't phase me at all. So if I can get a good look on the Sunday, but as I said, I really hope.
So
I shoot.
who else is here from the Irish contingent? That
You've
normally
Alan
brings
Broyd.
the show
Alan
in?
Broyd, you can never rule out Alan. Ryan Press is always.
He
he's
looked good
always,
earlier. He had front 10, front 11
yeah.
earlier.
You know, there's a couple of things, and then there's always one or two that you don't expect to get in. So the guy had 298 here.
Matty Clayton.
So I don't know much of Matty. Is he a young lad? Is he?
Yeah, he was playing his mum's actually watching.
Oh, hi, Mum. Matty's mum. Hi.
He's a England international.
Yeah. What, Yaks or?
I think he went to World Youths and Juniors.
So, you know, there he is now walking.
He lives. As far as I know, he lives around bowling. Like he works in bowling centres. He was down at Airport Bowl for years.
Yeah.
So.
And then I believe this guy is it Dan Balsam, is it?
Dan Balsam. I mean, he
is
led.
He coming in?
He led the Swedish qualifying at the other.
I believe Dan bowls like 4 hours a day.
I don't know if he's coming, and he's got knee troubles at the moment. So I'll be surprised if he bowls too much.
Okay, well then.
But he's.
So there's always one or
Dan's
two.
Dan's probably. If he's listening, Dan's probably the most improved English bowler.
Yeah,
I've
noticed that
years.
actually. Yeah, I've noticed that.
He tries. He works on his game probably more than anybody.
Yeah,
But it's not aimless work either. He's getting pointed in the right direction with his coaches.
That's good. No, I've noticed how well he's doing. So, you know, you can't.
Then we got people coming. The people not even arrived yet. You got young guns, Sam Rose, Elliot Crosby.
Yeah. So look there's about 24. There's 24 good players, and unfortunately, 8 of them are going to miss out. And you know, I could be one of them. You could be one of them. So it's just on the day here, and it's all about. At times, it's just about pin carry. If you can get the carry in the right action, and you'll know yourself, if you're carrying that 10 pin and getting them lucky breaks and getting them lucky 4 pin kicks, you know it's your day. You know.
Got to get that ball coming off the end of the pattern.
You do. It's all about the ball going through the pins and just getting that bit of luck. If you can get a bit of luck and throw a couple of bad ones and yet still strike, then you know it's your day. And that's all you got to find.
Well, on especially on patterns like this where it is. I mean, no disrespect to anybody who's going to disagree with me here, but it's pretty hard to miss the pocket on this pattern.
There's nothing to be disrespectful about. It's so easy. You could throw. I reckon I could have a 200 blindfolded. It's ridiculously easy here, but that's what brings everybody in. It's, why not have an easy pattern? When you go away to all these EBT events, they're difficult patterns. They're difficult patterns for the likes of me because I don't play on them all the time. I don't practice on them. I can't say to the mechanic here, look, can you get the machine out for me and put down Athens and put down Tokyo?
You're
and
definitely
put down
not alone there.
No.
Definitely.
So a lot of people in different countries, like if you go to Romania, you can walk in there, get free bowling for the day, and you can get the mechanic to put down any pattern you want on any. You can put down 8 different patterns. You can put down 4 different, whatever you want. He'll put it down for you. You can put down a medium, long, short. Doesn't matter. That's in Romania.
Yeah.
You come to Ireland and England, where bowling, some of the top bowlers in the world are from the UK. Some of the top bowlers in Europe over the years. Ireland has always been a decent nation to produce some good bowlers.
Yeah.
We're never ever too far away. We've gone away and won. We've won in Europe. We've won here. We have a male winner here. We have a female winner on 2 occasions.
Yeah.
We're not a bad nation of bowlers, and the amount of bowlers that have retired or given up, and the quality in them is just unbelievable. It's I could mention 10, 12 bowlers that would challenge any one of these. If Aaron Malin still bowled, 3-4 days a week practice, he would make top 16.
Yeah.
He's that good up. He just can't miss up the outside. He's so accurate, it's ridiculous, and he has the perfect hand for Sloan. Less is more.
Paul Gregg, blindfolded for top 16. Come on, Barry.
Yeah, well, maybe in
1 year, maybe.
Another
maybe
lifetime.
not this year.
Not this year,
Maybe when
I'm going blind anyway.
Maybe when you've got more money than sense.
Well, I'm going blind at the moment, so it might.
This is audio only. This side of the bench.
Yeah.
Let's get back to the
actions speak louder than words.
Let's get back to the action real quick,
let's get
because
back to
on
the
our
action.
feature pair we've got a 240, so about 20 ahead of pace in that one.
Oh, Pat Holmes, actually, she's Irish. Well on Pat,
But as you
242.
were saying just moments ago about Tora going missing for a game or two, he's on 140 in the 8th, so 17 under this game.
Yes, he's on 3 and 4, is he?
But he has got a few. No, he's on 7 and 8.
And that 200's gone missing as well. So
2, 3, 4. Sorry, he's on 5 and 6.
yeah, so this
looks like they've
pattern-
got a tough pair there on 5 and 6. You mentioned 5 and 6 earlier.
No, 5 and 6 should be okay. Between 5 and 10, lanes 5 to 12 are 300 material all day long.
Okay.
All day long. The only problem is with these lanes, after the second game, there's oil carry. If you can handle the oil carry and cop it quick and make the right ball choice or move right, then you will stay in the game. But it's 1 to 4, it's 13 to 16, and 17, 18 are just generally drier than the rest of the house, but they're still consistent. But they're the lanes that I would be very worried about: 13 to 16, and obviously 1 to 4.
What did you see in terms of the ball that was best for you? And I don't mean the name of the ball or anything. I just mean, did you prefer pearls on easy stuff like this? Do you prefer solid, high RG, low RG?
It's very simple for me. The weaker ball, the better here for me, because I've got obviously a strong hand. I wouldn't be, I'm around the ball a bit, so I get a lot of length. But I mean, I drilled the Storm match. Basically, it's a 255 RG. I like balls that go long. When I won the Irish Open here 3 years ago, I was using a link. It's a 900 global link.
I was going to say you would know.
It was an S30 cover stock, and it was under the stairs for about 2 years. And I took it out around September, October, and I shot billions with it up to Christmas. So I said, well, I'm going to keep going with it. So all I was doing was giving it a bit of 2,000 every now and again. But it just set beautifully for me on third arrow, and the finish was unbelievable. Then I started the Irish Open with it, and shot 1470. But I was also using another ball, an S70 cover stock, which is called the Nuts. And what the Nuts did was, when the link wasn't finishing for me, I'd go a little left with the Nuts, and that would do exactly what I wanted in the middle of the lane, so I could come a bit deeper. So this weekend I have a Black Eagle Pearl with a Rico drilling. And it's unbelievable around between, say, fourth arrow, and it's just going out to about 8 and coming back and literally smashing the pins. And then when the oil carries, I'm picking up the match, which is a high RG ball. And basically it's got 4,000 Abalone. And it just sits around in between second and third of about 5 board target, and she just literally smashes the pins for me. But that's what I did on Sunday.
The common theme that I can hear running through this talk here is you've got high RG, you've got 2,000, 4,000, you've got weak cover stocks. You're blending the pattern.
I'm basically, I'm going in drilling balls to suit this pattern, because
you're not throwing right angles down the lane.
No, so you don't need it. You don't need flaring tracks, and because all you're going to do is leave. You're just going to leave too many single pins.
Assuming that all of our viewers aren't fellow bowlers here, that's I think a really key point for bowling on easy conditions. The lanes are easy. You don't want to make it complicated by throwing angle left, right, and centre and hooking the whole lane.
No, I came in here a couple of years ago before I won it, and I had these big hook balls, and by God, did I look good. The ball had millions of revs. I was so deep. I was going fourth arrow out to the gutter and back. I left 9 pins, 8 pins, 4 9s, 10 pins, 7 pins. I left more single pins flush, and people were laughing at me. I think I took off my shoe at one stage, and I was going to throw it down the lane. But I didn't know. I didn't know any better. Do you understand? I wasn't educated enough, and since I started coaching and learning about bowling balls and patterns, I've had to educate myself. So now, when I get a bowling ball, like for example, I drilled up a high wire, as telling yourself there that I got a high wire, and I put a really long drilling on it. So I basically put my pin to pop is like 2 inches. And then I put an extremely long angle on it of about like 95 degrees, and then obviously my second angle was about, normally if you put it like a degrees of 30, they say the ball will snap more, but then I put like say 45 or 50. So I wanted this ball, they said to me it's a really strong ball, so I wanted to go long. So that's exactly what it does. It goes really long, straight down, and at the end it just flipped for me, and I think it needed a little bit more on it at the end, so I put a P3. Which just gave me a little bit more at the end. I shot 300 with it then about 3 or 4 weeks later.
Good ball. I've got one myself.
Then I played a small tournament here, and I made the semi-final. I shot 260, and when I got to the final, I shot 270. So although it's a ball that can hook out a building, well, I actually reversed it and wanted it to go really long, and that's what it does. So because I'm a bit more educated now, and I understand equipment and I understand these layouts, for
make
me,
it play to your hands.
I get a strong ball and put a weak drilling on it, basically.
It's a nice plug for our sponsors there as well with Storm Roto. It's a Roto ball and a high wire.
Roto ball, for me, Roto and Storm at the moment.
That's all I throw.
Are really good for me. They're working for me. But I'm buying strong balls and putting, as I say, really, really weak drillings on them. But when I go away, obviously, I can afford, and I have the luxury of when I go away to tournaments, I can actually get brand new balls and drill them certain ways. But when I come home, they're just sitting in my bag, and,
Yeah.
and I'm not using them. And I can use any ball here, fifth arrow, fourth arrow, loads of pace, loads of revs. But if you're not getting through the pins and carrying the 10 pin consistently, then the ball isn't worth. It's not. It's just so easy to get a ball to the pocket here, you know.
Speaking of revs, and in connection with our live chat, how's Thomas Kaiko doing? He's currently on lane 7 and 8. They're a little bit behind.
Yeah.
He could go off the sheet for 278. He's just completed his 8th frame
Yeah.
for a 4-bagger. Now, the 5 and 6 that was looking like a bit of a graveyard pair did finish a bit like that. Tora finished 160,
Yeah.
Ron 180.
I expected that on
Santu scraped a
24.
2-0, so Santu's still up there.
Yeah, Santa with the. You see when, with
Santu's
the,
2-0 on that pair looks big.
yeah, because he probably went deeper, and obviously with the revs and the you know, and the power, and that's what a lot of these two-handers are getting away with now, because they've got the revs and the power. They're getting the 2-0s when we're having 170s.
Yeah.
That's the difference and then obviously the left here is always, whatever it is, last couple of
It's
years on the
favourable.
left, it's really favourable.
Stays easy. Starts easy, stays easy. Thomas is up on lane 8, walking the boards on lane 8.
Another two-handed guy there. So
Yeah.
that's it. That's why he's gone really deep with a like a pearl, a high road
snaps
pearl.
out the 10.
Yeah. 6 kicks to 10.
See, that was, and I'm not saying it's only two-handers, but that's the right-handed flat 10 there, the single right-handed flat 10.
Yeah.
And he's kicked out that 10 pin. Feature pair this game, you've got to treat, guys. This is probably the best pair in the house. No disrespect to anybody else. Tora Torgerson, Ron Hurt, Tom Byrne, Santu,
missed the head
Havanainen.
pin.
I've just bigged him up and he's thrown a split.
Is
Commentator's curse.
that the code black?
Didn't see it go down the lane. I was too busy looking at the names. Sorry. Should we have a bit of a? Who's the #1 Irish player right now? Well, Paul, if you mean in the
Chris Sloan.
standings, it's obviously Chris Sloan. Shot 15.27, I want to say 15.27. What about in the
played,
rankings? Is there a rankings?
No, he doesn't really play the rankings here because he's obviously he's away
over
in
in
Sweden
Europeans
and he's in
and
Europe,
stuff,
he's
yeah.
America. So, but look, we've got wild cards. We want to pick our best team for European and Worlds. Obviously, Chris will always be. You can't look too far past Chris, you know.
Let's have a. I love this camera angle here, Barry. Let's see what you think about this one.
Make sure it's not me now, because I don't really want people to see me.
No, this is going to be.
I've only a face for radio, you know.
This is going to be lane side.
Let's go lane side with Mike Jabowski.
Yeah. Kimberly Pressler coming at
Kimberly,
you live.
Kimberly Pressler.
How's it going, Kimberly?
Hi guys.
Well, I
how's it going?
finished 3rd in Miss America.
Oh great.
She can interview me anytime.
Dom, how do we get onto the lane side one? This one. There we go. We're on.
Oh, come on.
This
I
is
don't
a
wanna be
great
seen.
view.
Yeah.
Love this view. So you're going to see the two-handed style up close.
Yeah.
You're going to see Tora's drift. I mean, Tora's got some 20-odd boards of drift.
Just on that last shot there from Santu, if you've seen where his release was, it's actually in the front of his face. So anybody watching, anybody want to get a consistent, reaction down lane and what they should be doing, sort of today's, what the coaches are teaching today, all the best bowlers, it's that release and that follow through comes in the middle of your face. You know, years ago we taught people to follow through and to kind of come up to the side of your ear, but actually no. If you can get that follow through right into the side of your face, with obviously your hand position in the right place as well.
We were talking about this earlier about me and Dom earlier. We were talking about the excessive follow throughs over here and wondering where it came from. So this is really good that you're tying in, not knowingly. You didn't have a clue what we were talking about, but tying in perfectly. And I was talking about this front on view, technical points. For me, head positioning, head still, balance.
Yeah.
Some of the key, absolute top of the list things you got to make a good shot. Your eyes have got to be still.
But if you look at all the top bowlers and if you look at what they do, if you can see it, like as a coach, if you can watch a bowler, his footwork, his swing, his posture, you know where he is at the foul line, you know how he starts, you know if you can pinpoint those things and look at the top bowlers in the world. Now take the two-handers out of it, obviously. But if you can look at your top one-handed players, your Webbers, your Dukes, you know, then you look at, say, at the moment, Dom Barrett. I think Dom's 6 out a mile. You have to look at Sean Rash. If you look at what if you look at where their hand position is on the release, and if you look at where their follow-through goes, obviously in the front of the face, if you can pinpoint those things on all the top players, then that's what you should be doing. That's what they're being taught in Texas. That's what they're being taught in USBC and all the goal level coaches. That's what you're teaching your kids today, and that's what gives you consistent ball speed, consistent release. You'll hit your target consistently. But the main point of this is that how do I keep my ball speed the same?
Yeah.
And that's been a major, and I don't think a lot of people know this, but ball speed, I think it's everything. If your ball speed is up or down, well, then you're going to have a different. Like if you're on an easy center, fine, you won't notice it. But if you want to know why, when you go to EBTs in Europe or go to America, and you can't get the consistent reaction, you can't hit the puck consistently, because your ball speed is up and down.
Yeah.
So you got to ask yourself, why is my ball speed up and down? And it's because of all this.
Yeah.
These are the things that are being taught. This release, look at Torre's swing. You know, it's in line with the head, sometimes a little bit behind them. You know, if you have a reverse loop or a kind of swing, all of these things cause issues when you're just about to release it, you know.
I think the key thing what you're saying is everybody does this game differently, but the fundamentals, you can pick up fundamental, even though your Pete Weber might throw it to the Norm Duke, but their fundamentals, the game's based on is huge. So I've just been handed Thomas Keiko's score sheet here, guys. I know we've got some interested viewers on Thomas. I'll just read his scores for you here. This is scary bowling. 279, 279. That's not a mistake. That is two different games. 174, 257, and a 278, giving him a 5-game total of 1267. So 267 over, averaging 253. So pacing to catch Sloan up there if he goes to another 250.
Another 250 there.
Cheers, Dom.
So that's it. If he shoots 200, actually, I think he has him, doesn't he? What was he?
No, he needs to be 327 over, doesn't he? So he's averaging 250. He needs to keep that. So let's go back to the rear on view. So see more fun of these fundamentals.
The fundamentals. If you watch all the top players, it's the fundamentals. It's that, you know, as I said, if your swing and your feet can marry, as I always say, if you can marry your swing and your swing and your feet, your footwork, you know, you're 99%.
Tora's obviously renowned for his drift.
Yeah.
And the coaching that I've been having recently, obviously it doesn't matter what you do as long as you can repeat it, but some sort of drift away from your swing arm is good, because you've got to make room for your swing path. Whether or not you would have considered Torres to be excessive, it doesn't matter. It's tried and tested over the years.
Yeah.
But some level of drift to your left if you're a right-hander, or to your right if you're a left-hander, because you've got to clear some space for that swing path to come down. Otherwise, you're swinging round arm.
Yeah, because if you look at his hips and his shoulders, obviously square as he walks up. So obviously the drift then helps him. But his swing, you don't look at his drift, you look at his swing. So his swing is in line, and when he gets to the foul line, his shoulders are square, his hips are open, and it comes through, and it's tight to the body. You know, if you've got a three-board drift left and right, you know, that's natural, that's normal.
Yep.
Then they call it leverage. They call it leverage. What do they call it? I'm just trying to think back what they call if you have excessive drift.
Thinking back to USBC.
Yeah, I'm looking, thinking back there. It's called.
What are you now? Silver accreditation.
I'm silver now. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thanks. Yeah, they teach you things like, you know, they say you can't say, oh, his timing's bad. It's not. It's either early, late, or textbook.
Yeah.
You know, why is it early? Why is it late? And why? And if it's textbook, you know, how good is he textbook? You know, what can you change to make him a little bit more smoother, or quicker, or better, a bit more tempo? You know, so there's so many things. When you're coaching, you've got to have a plan A, plan B. You've got to give a positive. You've got to give a negative. But then you've got to be able to tell him why it's negative and what can you do to fix it.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what coaching's about. So it's just staying as much as you can. Just be positive with the player as much as you can. It's easy to say someone's crap, or your timing is out. It's not really the right thing to do. If a coach ever says to your timing shit, he's not a coach. You know, he's insulting. It's ignorance.
So here's Tora up on lane 9. Let's see some of these fundamentals in action. It's a beautiful style.
Yeah.
Oh, he didn't even hear that let go of it.
No. But he's just smooth, and he's solid.
He's just got that in a little bit on that. There's a little bit of wet dry if you're going too deep.
Yeah, it's a bit, so as they call it, it goes fishing down the lane.
Yeah.
The ball goes fishing.
So I think it's pretty lucky to get that 10-pin out there. That was that weak 10-pin hit that you've been seeing all week.
But he's gone further left on that lane, because when the first ball he threw, he missed the head pin, he left the 2-4, 6-10. So I think he's gone a little bit more left. And what Torrey's great at doing is obviously getting more on the ball.
Yeah.
And he can work his wrist more. and obviously he can loft it or he can put it on the lane earlier. So he's got so much. He's so versatile.
Yeah.
And being versatile is a lot of us are I don't like saying a bowler has natural ability, but it's you've still got to work on your game and obviously create that.
Yep.
At some point to say he's obviously worked on that, lofting it, giving the ball more. He's obviously worked with some coaches. But if you can do what Torrey has, if you have the tools that Torrey has in his toolbox, well then you'll always get yourself out of trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah. Torrey is very mentally headstrong, so when Torrey goes missing, I think he lets his head overrule his game.
Yeah, okay.
Telling Torrey to relax, although he's sitting down, I guarantee he's down there and he's bullying it between his ears. He wants to kill himself for that 6-2 or that 6-1 first frame.
Take a look at Ron here and how still he stays. Usually at the foul line, not happy with that shot.
No,
so
he
he's
pulled it
fallen
and
off
it
a little
held.
bit,
Pulled it and he held. So
he slips under the radar a little bit, Ron. You watch him and you think, oh, maybe it's not that impressive. It's not a. But
you don't need
he just
him.
does
Ron
the
is a
same
perfect example
every
of
time.
he doesn't look pretty, but he's effective.
Oh,
There's so many bowlers that don't look pretty, but they're effective, and that's the beauty of
Santi's
bowling.
touching the ball return here. He's way in. Look at him go.
That's
That's
just
beautiful.
ridiculous amount of revs.
Good reaction too after the 9 missing the previous frame.
But that's it. These guys have there's so much power, so much speed, so many. And if they can, all they have to do is work on their A to B, get that right. Everything else just happens naturally. But no, Ron is he's not a bad player. He's not a bad player, he's very mentally there. He knows the game. He's great mentality. Stays relaxed. Never see him getting irate or swinging anything. Or he's just very relaxed. And
I'm getting slated for my commentary skills from back home here, Barry.
oh well, hard luck.
Commentary virgin, taking up the reins.
You're doing well, pal. You're doing well. Listen, we're not experts, but we give our honest opinions, and that's all you can do.
So, feature pair. There are a few strikes banding around here. We've actually got a good draw here as well, because you've got Ghislaine on the next pair over there.
Yeah. Sloan had a
7-8 as
couple
well.
of bad games there, so she's probably.
Love watching her bowl though.
So big shout out to Team Foley who are listening.
Team Foley.
Team Foley's
How's
listening.
the family?
Family is great. Family's good. So that's Ron there. Another top 10, and it's
Same hit as frame 4.
yeah.
Same hit.
He's just had a good few of them today, but he looks a little bit. He doesn't look
Nonplussed. He looks like he's a bit fed up with his day.
Yeah. He's got
Not
a
sure
couple
what
of
he
that
shot.
pair that's probably.
You see any strikes going on down there or anything? Let's see, keep the guys updated.
See anything? My eyesight wouldn't be the best.
I
but
haven't really got any strikes top end.
No.
Seem to have hit a bit of a lull in the scoring.
Well, we've had a 298 today, so that's the close we've had at
We've had
300.
a 298, we've had a 288.
A lot of 270s. So, yeah, it seems.
It's definitely
As
out
I
there.
said, the lanes seem a little fishy, and normally we'd have a couple of 300s by now, but no doubt we'll have one or two. I think once the first one goes in, you'll have.
I
the
think
second.
when you get to the later, not necessarily the late rounds, but when you get to the qualified rounds, when you got the better players playing with each other,
Yeah.
and set the lane up for each other.
Exactly. It'll happen.
His lane's so smooth there on lane 8.
Yeah, but as I said, she had a couple of bad games, so she's lost now. She's gone between the years, and it's
Oh, Santu.
Santu 9
What
miss.
have you done, Santu?
Yeah, there you are. So much potential there, and I'd say when he's locked in, he's just unreal. But like that, you're going lane 9 and 10. Look as what I was telling you about 13 and 14, 3 and 4. That's exactly the way it's happening here.
Yeah.
It's just.
Let's see if Tora can stretch this out to a 4-bagger. Ham bone.
Yeah, ham bone. I never really got the ham bone.
Dave Ryan, wasn't it? Yeah, he was
Ham bone.
trying to put his stamp on bowling.
Yeah, I don't.
Turn
Still
a
don't.
turkey into a ham bone.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yahtzee for a 5-bagger.
Yeah, no, I think after
Just rather have
turkey,
3-bagger, 4-bagger, 5-bagger, 6-bagger.
yeah, I think after 3 in a row, and the turkey's enough for me.
Yeah.
You know.
Selwyn is here. Oh, that ball looks good going through the pins.
Yeah.
You say that was code black?
Yeah, I think it's
Another
called black,
storm.
yeah.
Well, obviously Storm's.
Yeah, it has to be. He has
Yeah,
Storm
yeah.
on his short, Storm on his feet. Tim has been around, so it must be Storm. Tom Bourne, senior champion. Last year,
Last year,
one year won the senior
Looking pretty
section
in
of the
pink.
Irish Open. Looks pretty in pink there. As you can see, he has a nice butterfly on for his daughter.
Oh, it's a
butterfly.
Is it a breast cancer sign on the back there?
Yeah. Tom McForshey lost his daughter there before Christmas.
Last year.
Yeah, just before
dear.
Christmas there. So very sad news. But he's come back. He came back I think a couple of weeks later, shot 300. You know, Tom loves bowling. Tom's around a long time. He's one of the he's around the days of Philip Dunn and Colin Bell, Paul McGee. Obviously, Paul passed away through motor neuron disease, and then we lost Larry O'Leary then last year as well through cancer. So we've lost a few of our legends over the years. But Tom, Tom is like Tom's been around the game a long time, but has never really, you know, he's never really done as much as say Philip Dunn. But Tom, I think he's won a match play. I don't think he's ever won the Irish Championship. The days of Dunner. I think he was second or third a few times, but you know, winning that Irish Open was certainly deserved. You know, if there's it's great that
pretty
the
emotional,
senior
if I
section.
remember rightly.
It was something that was needed. You know, we've had Amanda that won the ladies section of it, and then obviously when it was mixed, Amanda
Karina?
was the top woman, but Karina actually won the actual ladies section. So Amanda actually made the top 8 of the overall, but then there was a separate prize for top woman. So she has that kind of title, but Karina has now Amanda Larkin. Amanda Larkin.
Larkin, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, of course,
Amanda Han.
What am I on about? Sorry.
Amanda Larkin. And,
Yeah.
But Karina has won the ladies section twice.
Oh, Tora doesn't like this one.
No.
Oh, trip 9 gets
9,
away
gives a
with
fist
it.
pump.
It's going to be your day if you're tripping them, but then again, like I said, he did have just have 160.
Yeah, 60, so he's gonna play again.
I'm saying he's a pass winner, 1996.
26. That's
he
when
doesn't
Dom asked
look
me.
any different. Does
No,
he?
he still looks the same. It's ridiculous.
Pretty MF.
It's not fair. What face cream is he using?
I don't know.
No, he won at 96, and that's when I fell in love with the Irish Open, and I just said to myself, that's it, I want to win the Irish Open. So took me, 17 years to win it. So, but it was because of Torrey, what he did in the final, 279. He threw 279 in the final like it was, I don't know, like he was walking the dog. It was just so easy.
Yeah.
So easy.
Ron,
What's that?
somebody taking over the live chat.
Adam is doing the league play search. They're getting a bit of stick there, yeah.
Yeah, I think I might be. I don't know where that's coming from.
Don't mind, I'm just jealous.
I know Pete Maloney. He's a good friend of mine back home. He runs a really good hull bowling website, putting a lot of effort in, running the local leagues down there. But don't really know where that's come from for wanting to know how I'm doing.
Well, all you UK bowlers, listen, you want to get your act together. We want an English Open, and we want an English Open like
English
an Irish Open.
English Open last year was 40 some odd entries.
I don't get it. As much as people say it to me, I don't get it. Don't understand it. I know I hear people saying, oh, you know, the Northerners are always, you know, the Southerners are always, you know, kind of picked for Team England, and I heard a lot of that for years, and people that were like Mark Smith was milling them for years up there in Leeds and never got a chance to play for Team England. And you know, I don't know what it is, but I don't know what's going on over there, but I don't know why we can't have an English Open like this.
We've just kicked off this year with a new sports bowling tour. The first stop in Stroud, same destination. We had the English Open with Stroud, same destination. I believe the entry was open for 2 days. We've already got like 50 entries or something.
But you've got to look at location though. You know,
somebody can correct me if I'm wrong if it's not quite 50, but to have the English Open as 40 some odd entries was very disappointing.
No, of course it is.
It
is.
I honestly couldn't tell you what the problem is.
I want to go to the English Open every year. I want to play in the English Open, but not when there's only 40 bowlers. It's a problem.
Yeah.
You know, it should be still in Nuneaton. You fly to Birmingham. It's 15 minutes of taxi, and there's hotels and restaurants around you, and everything is perfect.
Anymore, Barry, unfortunately.
I know, but I mean, look at Sloan. You know, Letterplex and Sloan. It's this centre is what 50 odd years old, and you know, but we maintain it. You know, you have 18 lanes there. We have
nice
a
facility. You got synthetic lanes, and we got
but I mean,
battered old wood underneath.
I don't know.
Sorry for interrupting with that terrible noise, but there was a flying messenger on lanes 11 and 12 from.
Oh, lovely.
It was Thomas Keiko. You just send the pins flying around with that two-handed style.
Yeah, that's the advantage they have, you know. But
absolute sledgehammer of a messenger. That's
That's
exciting as well, isn't it? You know,
yeah, it's exciting if you're a neutral player, and you know you only getting into the game, and you know, a lot of kids are coming in now, and obviously, you know, Belmo got the trend going, and then Oscu, and then obviously a lot of bowlers have followed suit by. But look, in about 20, 30 years' time, there's going to be a lot of two-handers, and
Yeah.
you know, hopefully they can maybe have their own tour. And
Yeah.
leave us one-handers alone.
Leave us alone. Then you're going to say that about the lefties, though, Barry.
No, we bring the lefties.
You just put
in.
the kiss. You could put the kiss of death on Santu.
No,
there.
well, there's not many lefties. You know, there's not. I mean, there'll be more two-handers than lefties in what?
Yeah.
Probably in 4 or 5 years' time. There's not. I mean, you look out there now. There's not many lefties. You know.
Is this game 6? I
This
know
is
I
game
should
6
know
now,
that as a
yeah.
commentator.
Yeah, because Torre started on 7 and 8.
Yeah,
so.
of course.
Yeah. So yeah, it's
Big games finish here from Ron Hurt. Strikeout for 250.
there's a Santos just on a 170.
I think he's giving this
Strikeout.
game away. I think he's.
Yeah.
I think he knows he's got more in the shed for another squad.
I mean, when you get down there fully focused and you start with 250, 260, and then all of a sudden you come to a pair of lanes and you get 170, it can knock the stockings out of you, you know.
Yeah.
There's a bit of luck there. He left the 2-8 and they just fell over for a turkey. So that's. Is he from? He's from Poland, is he? Oh,
I think so. I'd be lying if I told you for certain.
to be honest, I can't. A lot of the lads, I can't. Even, I know them to see, but I can't even pronounce their names.
That was my biggest nightmare coming on this commentary was the
I don't
pronouncing
worry
the
about it.
names.
Yeah, I just someone will tell you their
You
name.
see your man there on lane 9.
Yeah. Your man there. Sounded.
Those are the
Northern
breaks you
Irish
need, though, especially on this easy part, high scoring pace.
there.
You're on a double already. You throw it. You maybe slightly whiff it. You throw it a bit iffy.
Yeah.
You're tripping that 2-8 for the strike. Got to keep your string going. Then the top quality players then come back and pounce on that break and they get the 4-bagger.
Exactly. That's when you know you're in the zone. That's when you know you got a bit of luck. That's when you know it's your day. You got to just ride that bit of luck.
John Chew is bowling a game full of spares here. He's 7 spare, 9 spare, 7-2. Sorry, there's a miss.
He's been very quiet.
9
hasn't he?
spare, 8 spare, 9 spare, 9 spare, 9 spare, 9 spare, 9 spare. He's playing 9-10 no tap.
Oh, yeah. Very consistent. Been very quiet as well. He's normally a lively character, isn't he?
Yeah, he's brought his other half with him. Got to behave,
I
isn't he?
noticed that. Well, when you said his other half, who's the other noisy guy that comes with him? Who's the other big guy that comes with him? The two of them when they're at the back of the lanes.
Oh.
Who's his mate? Big beardy guy. I don't know his name.
Yeah, I'm struggling as well.
Yeah, he comes out over here 2 years ago at the back of the lanes. They were fairly well oiled from bowlings, and then they
I can't remember.
let themselves be known.
Can't remember.
That's fun, but if two lads are shouting, then it's not the same as where maybe there's a big roar, you know.
How is Matty Clayton doing? Hang on, let's change that to where is Matty Clayton?
I think
He might be one of those
down.
that have finished over
he
there.
is back down on 3 and 4, I think, or 1 and 2. Yeah.
We have got a very strange situation where some people have been finished a while and some people are still on frame 8. So I know we've been talking, and apologies for not keeping up with the play too much, but it is hard to keep track.
It is. There's not much happening, guys. I mean, there is big scores. 1 or 2 bowlers are knocking millions, but that's, you know.
We were saying we needed the updated scoring system where it has your cumulative score at the end as well. So
We're a little bit
you see
behind
like
there, yeah.
Torah 226, but you need to know what that gives him.
No, of course, and unfortunately you have to wait until the squad is finished. We can give you a little bit here as we go along, but if you just log on to Tenpin Ireland, I think, or Talk Tenpin, you will get the. Oh, that's him, Lee. Yes, that's him. Yeah, yeah.
Predators!
Predators and what's his name?
Chewy.
Chewy. When the two of them are together. No. They're mad.
Chewy.
They're gas, yeah. Funny guys. So here we go for 5-bagger, 2-hander. Yeah, they are.
Oh, it's beautiful.
So they gets a bit of luck for the turkey.
With the whack, postshop.com.
Yeah, and then he gets a 5-bagger.
How's Big Tam, the two-handed finish guy, doing now?
Oh, he's had a mare. Santu.
He says Big Tam. I don't know who Big Tam is.
Who's Big Tom?
I don't know. Paul Gregg, who's Big Tam?
Hey.
Yeah, I have.
Ron has, Ron's put in a big finish there, 240. I'm not entirely sure how he's finished. Toro 226, going to be in the mid-250s over. Thomas Kaiko must be putting in. What was Thomas Kaiko was averaging 250 before this game, wasn't he? He had 278 last game. So 60, 90, 120, 150, 18. So Thomas Kaiko's on a 5-bagger going into the 10th. 2 more strikes for 250 plus will take the lead. Yeah, will take the lead.
Okay.
Big Tam is Thomas Kaiko, and I've just said how he's doing. So
he's milling it.
basically, Thomas Kaiko needs the next two in the 10th to take the lead.
Yeah, that's interesting. So there, yeah. So that's it. So it's about, you know,
They
if you
throw
get to the top four.
They throw it kind of similar, those two, actually, Sloaney and Thomas.
Oh, no. Sloan throws it better. Throws it much better. I mean, two-handers all look the same, but Santu is up there with the likes of, I think Santu's up there with the likes of Oscu. I mean, it throws it just unbelievable. If you had Oscu's head, it'd be just incredible. But Sloaney, I think, throws it better than
Thomas?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. You look at two-handers, and some of them look very awkward and look a bit, you know, a bit aggressive.
Okay.
And then if you look at Santu, the smoothness from it is just unbelievable, that you can get so many revs from the smooth. So I think Chris is not as aggressive as Santu, but he's still quite smooth. He's still very, very smooth.
We're going to try and change the camera angle so we can see if we can get the new leader of the tournament in the shot. Here we go. So here is
bottom of the
Thomas Kaiko, walking the boards, lane 11.
Yeah. Bottom of the 10th.
Frame 10.
He has a 10th international.
See if he puts a good move on this ball.
What's it, like 6 steps? 6 short little steps.
Throwing it out wide. Ah, he's chopping that 10 pin out. That's that flat 10 for one-handers, and he's just chopping that 10 pin out.
Yeah, 6 kicking the 10, so it's, that's it.
I think he needs the next one to take the lead, though. I think.
Oh, what did we say it
It was 253 average, so 253 times 5 is 265 over, and I think he needed to get to 328, did he? Something like that? So maybe not.
No,
maybe he won't do it. Maybe he won't do it.
So he was 270, he had 279, 279, didn't he? And then he had a 1 what?
176.
176.
257, 279.
254 and then 279. So he's 1267.
And what's the leading score?
So my
15.
What did we say that was?
1267.
1267 minus 1527.
I think so.
Yeah, 260.
So he can't do it. He's only get 257 on the board.
So he's second.
Oh yeah, it was ripped another rack on the lane 11 there. So he has got his 250. Going to be second. That's going to be enough for buys. That's going to be top 4.
Well,
home and dry.
See, yeah. Well done.
So wrapping up game 6 here, squad 7, Storm Bowling Irish Open, Leisureplex in Stillorgan. Adam Michaels, Barry Foley on commentary. Not for too much longer, to be fair. There's only a few frames to go here, Barry. Final thoughts on the day today? Big scores.
Well, not as. I mean, I'm disappointed there's been no 300. There has been a lot of big, but also guys throwing 160s after throwing 270s. So there's still lanes haven't really settled as the way the Irish Open lane should. So I reckon tomorrow might be a little bit more consistent out there. There's definitely pairs out there catching guys out.
Yeah.
And if that can calm down a little, which I don't think it will. I think it's going to be an interesting weekend. I think there might be a few surprises.
I think there's going to be some higher score. I definitely think we're going to have some 300s. I don't think we're going to have this quality
I think you'll have
field.
one. I mean, look,
Don't
it's
think
just
we're
a
going to
force one.
have this quality field on this pattern without having some 300s.
No, of course.
I think the score's going to go up. I think when you get the better players playing together, and then I think the scores may just come back down in the match play finals.
Yeah, match play. It's because it's like you can shoot 420 and win, and you can shoot 520 and lose.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's just about getting to the top 16, and it's pure luck then after that. So we've just been given the score sheet there for Thomas: 270, 279, 170, 257, 278, 257. So we'll tot that up and give you the exact.
Add it up right now.
Yeah,
Let's do 279, 279,
174.
174. That's a big hole in that.
Yeah, we're going to find out what lanes that was actually. So we had a 257 there. We had a
2 and 3 and 4. No, it wasn't. It was NPER 17,
18, which is
15, 24. I make that 3 behind Sloan. Is that right?
Yeah, 15, 24. Yeah. So second place, Thomas. So two handers, first and second.
15, 22.
15, 24. We had a.
Oh,
so that's what the computer
Sloan
says.
15, 21.
Just type it in again to see. We'll just double check.
What did Sloan have? Here we go. Oh no, that's Barry Foley. Sorry, everyone. I'm looking at scores that aren't up to date. Sorry. So Christopher Sloan.
don't know where you're scrolling down. Chris is on the top.
Yeah, but this is
Yeah,
my
come out.
phone.
We'll go back
My
into.
phone's being
Yeah,
silly.
go back to see the top line here. The
Combined. There
yeah,
we go.
combined. Hit that.
Okay.
Yeah. It should be updated now.
Chris Sloan 15.27.
Yeah.
So we have a 15.27. Thomas Kaiko 15.24.
Yeah. Who's toured then? At the moment.
After that, 14.60. Petri Kaituri, Finland.
Yeah.
Paul Moore 14.34. Barry Foley, your man there, 14.21. Ryan Press 14.19.
Yeah.
Hadley Morgan, pair of lefties from England next, 14.06 Hadley. And my good self on 14.02.
So Thomas, I think, won the squad there, I think, comfortably.
So I think maybe we should hand over to Dom
Is
to
Dom gonna
prepare for
interview
the interview.
Yeah, I'll interview him. Yeah,
You want to interview him?
Yeah, I'm going to interview him.
You're
Yeah.
going to interview him.
I want to find out a bit about him. Yeah.
So Barry Foley's going to interview the squad winner, who's just disappeared again.
He'll be back. Don't worry.
Oh, he's coming.
Here we go. In you go there. Will I sit on this seat here?
Cheers for having me, Dom. Thanks. Nice talking to you, Barry. See you
Yeah,
later.
thanks, thanks a lot, Adam. We'll
Thanks,
have you
Adam.
on again, man. You were good.
He is. He's good. He is good.
Not as good as you, though, Barry.
No, he's not as good as me, in fairness. Like, Thomas, welcome. Sit in there, buddy.
Yeah, come on in, Thomas.
Let's see what's going on. Hope his English is good. No? Okay. Action.
This program is brought to you by Storm Products, the Bowlers Company.
Käyskö. Käyskö.
Gauschka.
Yeah.
Thomas. Well, we'll just say Thomas. Yeah. Yeah. Kauschka. We'll just call him Thomas. Okay, ready to go? All right, Thomas, congratulations. You shot a 15.24. Is this your first time here at the Irish Open?
Yes.
Excellent. So you enjoying yourself? Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us about your set. Obviously the lane suited you today. Obviously you're a two-handed player.
Yeah.
So tell us about your set. How did where did you start? What sort of moves did you make? And what equipment did you use?
I started with the Menace Extreme, about the third arrow for 2 games, and then I got a little bit troubles and
That's right. Yeah, you had a 174. Was that on lane 17, 18?
Yes.
Okay, so what happened there? Was just they were drier, or
I don't know. The ball
just
didn't
wasn't?
just. I got like strike, spare, strike.
Sure. Just wasn't
Open,
finishing,
yeah.
wasn't reacting. So
Yeah.
did you change ball then?
Yeah, I tried no rules pearl, but
Okay.
it started left 10 pins, so changed to high road pearl, and that worked
That
the
worked,
rest
yeah.
of the
we
game.
noticed actually
Yeah.
the blue. We thought it was a high road pearl, so
Yeah.
and that worked for the rest of it then. Brilliant. So in terms of obviously in terms of your own game, how long are you playing? How long are you bowling two-handed?
About 6 years.
6 years. Is that how long you're playing? 6 years.
No, I started with one hand about when I was 10 years old, and then changed to two-handed.
That's cool. That's brilliant. And you're from Poland.
No.
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 Okay,
No.
we just see you wearing the
Yeah,
shirt there, so we assume
yeah.
you're from. Where are you from?
Finland.
Finland. Okay, that makes sense. Well then, that does say that. So come here. Did you play? You played the Ball Master recently,
Yeah.
so that gave you a little bit. How did you play there?
Well, I shot 13.34, and the cut was 13.63, so
Alright, okay.
didn't make it.
Right. Are you part of the national team, or are you part of anything?
I'm part of the youth national team.
Okay, brilliant. So have you won any tournaments? Or have you come in? Have you ever won an EBT before, or have you ever? What's your
No.
highest finish in an EBT?
I was actually in Wroclaw Open. I was 6th.
Okay, that's your best finish.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, well, and how do you find Dublin and Ireland? Are you happy to be here? You like it?
It's a nice city and
Yeah.
nice tournament.
And do you think the lanes will suit you for the week for the tournament now?
Yeah.
Do you feel confident?
I feel confident. Maybe.
Yeah. And what do you think the cut will be for the top 4? Obviously, the top 4 go straight to top 16. What, in your own mind, what do you think you need? Do you think you're safe?
How much was Christopher Sloan?
15.27.
Oh.
It's going to be difficult to beat, isn't it? You just missed by 3
Uh,
pins.
I think it's something around 15.
Yeah. You think that'll be the cut?
Yeah.
15. Excellent. Okay. Well, look, congratulations. Obviously, great to have you here at the Irish Open, and hopefully it's the first year of many that you come over and play.
Yes.
Any messages out there you want to let anybody know about the Irish Open, and any message you'd like to give?
Thanks for the coaches and
Yeah.
everyone supporting me.
And tell me, who coaches you back home?
In Kuortane, Piritta and Juha Maja, and then the national team coaches Jarmo Ahokas and Sami Konsteri. And
Okay, brilliant. So it's obviously it's top notch back there.
Yeah.
And obviously the fact that you're playing two-handed, would that be because of Oscu, and did he kind of give you that sort of vibe to try
Yeah.
two-handed? Yeah.
yes.
And would you know Oscu well? Would you play or practice with him much, or would you see him much? No.
No.
So would he know who you are, and if he checked the scores, would he know you?
I think so.
You think so? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, do you think he might give you a message and give you a text tonight and say
I don't know.
congratulations? That'd be cool, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a good friend with Oscar. He's a good friend of mine. He's given me a shirt before, Okay, well, look at once again, guys. Thomas, he won the squad 7 or squad 8 there. Was it squad? I think it was squad 7. So
Yeah.
congratulations, 15-24.
Thank you.
And hopefully you can keep going. Are you playing again? Are you playing tomorrow or?
I'm playing tomorrow at 12 and maybe Saturday, I'm not sure.
Well, look, apologies I thought you were from Poland, but
Yeah.
from Finland. But once again, congratulations, and we'll see you over the weekend.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
And cheers for that. Cheers
No
for that,
problem,
Barry.
Yeah, I hope that was okay.
Yeah, it was really good.
Well, I don't know.
You got more out of him than I would have done.
Well, I don't know him, and I'm sure a lot of people obviously would like to know who he is, and
Well,
he's
that's it.
obviously an up.
Yeah,
an
we all
up-and-coming
learn
rising
together.
Star. So I mean, I've never seen him play before, so I want to get to know who he is and what he's about. But
Yeah, that's
but it
another
looks
one to
obviously-
worry about, isn't he, now?
he's from Finland, and obviously Santu
Yeah.
is Finnish as well. So I think we're going to
Yes.
have a couple of Finns in the top 16. To be quite honest.
Oh, definitely. There's two today.
It's definitely a two-handers pattern, and it's definitely. I think we're going to, as I said to you today, we're going to have a good few, at least 2 or 3 two-handers, if
For
not
sure,
more,
yeah.
and then obviously a couple of lefties in there. So that's what's happening. They're playing the deep shot. They're getting the good action from deep, and it's the guys that are trying to play a little bit outside are catching that bit of oil, and they're not carrying as much as these guys. So it's worrying for us one-handers, But,
Just
at
a
the
bit,
moment,
yeah.
At the moment, it's the two-handers are flying the flag. It should be fun. Should be interesting.
Thanks for today, Barry.
You're
You've been
welcome.
awesome.
Yeah,
you in
I'm
again
glad.
tomorrow?
I'm here tomorrow. I'm playing tomorrow at 8 o'clock. So look, I'll be out a bit early, and hopefully have a chat with you before that.
Excellent. Right, we're going to leave with a Storm advert now for a word from our sponsors. We'll be back in the morning, 8 o'clock, I believe the squad starts. So we'll see you tomorrow, and thanks to Barry and Adam and everyone else who's
You're
been
welcome.
on today. Thanks very
guys.
much.
Good night. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Timeless. Not affected by a passage of time. The first thing you're going to notice when you hold Timeless is this is a statement piece. Once your hands wrap around the ball, the cover stock, the R2S hybrid, one of Storm's most successful cover stocks of all time, you're going to feel the tackiness, knowing that once that ball hits the lane, it's going to grab the friction at the exact moment it needs to give you the absolute perfect angle of entry into the pocket. The pins have no chance, and that performance is going to be seen time and time again every single time you throw this ball. This is why the ball is timeless. Storm created a new line called the Signature Series to fit Timeless in. No longer are we governed by RGs and differentials. Now we're governed by movement of the ball. The technology in Timeless is unprecedented, it's unique, it's innovative, it's industry leading. You're going to see the most powerful symmetrical weight blocks mixed with our most successful cover stock in history, all wrapped into one bowling ball.